And we come back. I want to start us off on the whole ship discussion. Let's nail that thing down. Figure out what ship you're getting, what assets you want to essentially spend to get it, um, and if that's the only ship, or if you're wanting more semi-immediate gain out of this the transaction negotiation. So,
Well, I mean, what was posted in chat seemed good enough.
okay, that was the version that I had created according to Tulair's last comments on it. That was this thing. I'm gonna throw it up on all your screens. Sorry there, Knox. I keep forgetting that I can make you not a player when I throw things on screen like that. Hey. Why is it Oh.
No problem if I have Roll20 loaded. It doesn't make me not a player anymore. It never shows up on my screen.
Oh, that does help. And actually, I may not have made it available to everybody. It is in all players' journals. I wonder why it didn't show up on my second screen. Oh, well, there it goes. Alright, so that's the basic design that was proposed by Tulair. You've also been given a little bit of a extra bonus from Darkstar Vacants. Nox, we're getting a little bit of is it feedback? I can't tell if that's echo or not.
Either way, I'm just gonna mute.
Okay. So yeah, there was an added benefit from Darkstar Vacant's efforts throughout the sector, which would allow you to have an integral fuel scoops that don't actually cost you anything if you want to spend the extra assets essentially as a cost that the bro are it's going to cost the bro to make the parts and to create the manufactories to support them. They'll do that anyways if they get a hold of these these designs, because it's a fantastic integral add-on for a ship that's going to make their shipyard even more popular. Well, desirable, not necessarily popular. But the immediate costs to them are still not insignificant. So, is that something you want to do?
I'm crunching some numbers because that 2 power 3 mass, we had talked about getting the scanners, and we had talked about getting an advanced lab, and with 5 mass and 9 power.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have we given anything over to cargo space on this yet?
No, this is all pre-cargo space. Cargo space will basically be whatever's left over.
Okay, let me do some number crunching here then.
Okay.
Advanced lab would be 2 mass, 3 power. So that would leave us with 3 mass.
Let's just add it to the thing. I'll add them right now. Survey sensor array and the advanced lab.
Yeah, let's see where that puts us, because we're probably going to need the thing that lets us convert power to mass.
Almost certainly, yeah. So that's the cost you're 1 mass under without taking the free fuel scoops.
I'm assuming we're gonna take the free fuel scoops.
Okay. So let me just zero those out.
It's one of them. If we're getting a good relation with the bro, we might as well just enhance it even more.
Yeah, certainly. And with that, you've got 2 free mass just by itself. That comes out to 400 cargo space, and 4 power that you can convert into 2 more mass for 800 tons cargo space. It's almost certain you won't need that much cargo space.
Like, yeah, 200. When we were on the Raza, 200 was gracious plenty.
Yeah.
I guess there were some times where he was like, oh, well, we could have gotten more. But that was also kind of a different style, too.
Right. And the more that you were getting was from doing a lot of salvage, whereas here it seems like you'd be doing more trading, and that fills up that eats credits faster than it fills up cargo space.
For the stuff that we're looking for.
No, yeah. It's one of them as well. Once we get the infra drive, we can just pop back for. How will that upgrade take place if we do use the intel for the infra drive?
I think that's just for the Raza, isn't it? Or would that be applicable to a new ship, possibly?
Initially, it's going to be only for the Raza. The Raza is currently outfitted for it. You know, it's like the Raza already has a proper receptacle in which you can put the infra drive. No other ships in the entire sector, as far as you know, do. So the infra drive tech will initially go to the Raza, but you'll be able to make some decisions on what kind of branching research will occur with that tech.
Yeah, and it's a pretty big deal, like, at least RP wise, to have access to that, even if it's on the Raza. We don't control it directly.
Yeah.
Which is what's always been one of my priorities.
So let's see here. We don't have to convert more power to mass, because I know that is going to eat up into our resources even more. Converting...
It would cost a little bit extra, yeah. But as far as the assets conversion, it won't impact it.
Okay.
At the moment, do you guys mind me giving you the numbers on this assets conversion?
I don't think it's quite necessary yet. I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to process it yet.
Okay, so the Nox mission was worth 5 assets in total. That's just the kind of benefit in trade, immediate access or assets, and funding that the Raza gets from opening up trade agreements with trade and production agreements with the Bro. Getting them to build a ship immediately out of it is eating away one of those assets, and having them apply the fuel scoops is eating away one more of those assets. So you'll get if you go this route, you'll get the fleet cruiser with integral fuel scoops, and you can also include the shuttle. That's fine too, and 3 assets bonus. Well, not bonus, but 3 assets reward.
Left over.
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to do a battleship, that would probably be like 4 of those assets.
Oh, man, adding the fuel scoops is just a single... That alone is an asset.
Mm-hmm.
But it does get us both the sensor array and the advanced lab. Now, we'd have to get some science personnel to staff that lab, but that feels like an important thing for us. That feels like something we could make use of. What do you guys think?
That's the Roz's problem, is staffing it.
As we increase in ranks, Raza's problems increasingly become our problems to solve.
Yeah, you see, I don't know. I feel like I left that behind in the last campaign.
That's because you're still only 4th level.
Yeah, Meowkin.
Wow.
Wrong. I think a research lab of some kind is required for Amaya to do anything crafting related, right?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Amaya needs a research lab to do the crafting and building related stuff,
No,
correct?
that's the workshop. The lab would
workshop,
probably play into it, though, if you're prototyping, probably.
Yeah, the lab would give you bonuses at any point I call for a roll for you to build something. Like, I believe I had you do a roll back when you were modding the vac suits. The lab would have given you a bonus on that roll.
Okay.
But we are guaranteeing we have the, like, it's a given that we're gonna have a workshop. I don't think anyone's opposed to that.
Yeah. That
Workshops
feels
are just cool.
with them being required for modding, it feels like you cut out so much of the game without a workshop. Well, so much of the mechanical side of the game. And as for staffing the lab, yes, you will need to have some staff, senior staff, as well as at least one assistant to properly staff it. But the Raza already has a couple of sciencey people, and there's another one available through the Trin that I haven't made pogs for.
Oh, is it going to be that one that really hates us?
Ooh.
I think so.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific.
No, the one that
No, Acid.
really hates us.
Acid, yeah.
Is she a scientist? I want her on the ship.
I think she was crew, right? I don't remember.
Acid. Oh, I posted it as a screenshot. Dang.
Should have known better.
I should have. But I can see where somebody typed Acid's name, and there we go. That's right. They were all guards. However, Acid had scientist medic. So Acid can double up as a science person for you.
How fun.
All right, I added the cargo space. I'm looking to see, is there any place on this that indicates specifically that we have 400?
Yeah, you have to type
Massive.
it though. It's in the top left block, on the far right of the top left block.
There we are. That would be my wish list, even if it costs us an extra asset to get us.
Okay.
If it was just the fuel scoops and that was, like, oh, okay, we got fuel scoops now, that would be good, but maybe not worth an asset. The fact that frees up massive power that lets us get both the lab and the sensor array, I think that makes this a ship we can use until the end of the campaign.
I'm all for investing in permanent infrastructure.
Okay. And
Permanent.
oh, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. And if you feel like this is a final build, then there's no reason for the bro not to include the extended mass support. It does cost credits and components, but if you think you'll actually use the extra 400 tons of cargo space, then...
Are the bro trying to sell us a gym membership? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, that's on Asta.
There's definitely going to be a gym on this. You've got luxury cabins.
I mean, I was looking at that. There is the other possibility that we use the extended mass support and only get 200 units of cargo space and get a second unit of luxury cabins. Which I mean, that sounds ridiculous
It
because
does.
of the small number of us. But what that means is that this ship that then becomes a
Flagship.
yeah, flagship in, if not in the strictly military leadership sense, this is our floating business center. This is our floating diplomatic office.
You've snuck a Galaxy class starship into Stars Without Number at that point, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
What
the
does
numbers work out if you want to do that.
I feel like I shouldn't have to explain what that is, but
Maybe. I can't remember what was the luxury one. Does it actually do? Does it do anything, or is it just comfy?
It's just comfy.
Comfy. Just means you're essentially getting Max seat,
Oh,
but for like
athletic
everyone.
course, decorative value. Okay.
Actually, no, I think Max is now against this.
So each installation will give you 20 quarters that are outfitted this way.
Gosh, do you really need more than 20?
One alone is enough to
That's all
luxury
the primary
bunk.
mission crew.
Yeah, the entire mission team and all the named NPCs that you'll be allowed to take. You'll have leftover cabins unless you want to put unnamed NPCs in them.
yeah, you only need more than 20 if Mark Lennard or Leonard Nimoy is in the episode, preferably both.
To mean that we can entertain foreign diplomats in style.
I see where you're going with this, and I don't object.
How many diplomats are we gonna have on board?
Again, only if you have Spock or Sarek on board do you need more than 20.
And then also, I mean, you also just have they can still dine there even if they're not living there. Because it includes things like zero-G athletic courts.
But are the mission crew going to move out of their comfy quarters to make space for the visiting diplomats?
No, it's obviously got a shared dining area.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the living quarters, the sleeping quarters. If we're going to have diplomats on board.
But how many diplomats are we going to have on board?
Well, if we only have 3 spare quarters, then we're only going to have 3 diplomats on board at any time.
Well, okay, so test case. How many people got invited to the cool pirate meeting?
That's a good test case.
Yeah, it is a good test case.
But they're not. I just still don't think
I know they're not staying on our ship, but in the future, if we want to have a cool meeting, it's a good place to start for assessing the number of people you might have to invite to it.
Yeah, I would say that there's more than a dozen. We'll say around 2 dozen.
It sounds like the mission team having to go to quarters to me if they've only got 20.
And the thing is that means that we can play host to diplomatic conferences. We can become power brokers because our ship is an appropriate, if not entirely neutral location to have that kind of thing. Without losing face for Raza.
And with it being such a fucking, like, I'll say tank of a ship as well, it gives like you can trust us, you know. Mainly because it's like if you come here, you won't just get ganked.
Mm-hmm. It sounds to me like. Go ahead.
Worst comes to worst, we can bury all the fancy drawers in the nice bed with tons and tons of spare parts.
I mean, if you want to have 800 cargo, I'm okay with that too. I'm just proposing a possible alternative use for the mass that we have available to us.
There's more things you can get. I haven't actually taken a deep look at it.
Well, look through it, and there's not a whole lot more that we would necessarily want.
Well, let's try a different angle on this. Okay, sure. Potentially, you can have a heavily armed flying convention center. Good.
Yeah.
Who in the sector is going to be willing to board a heavily armed flying convention center who doesn't, hear me out, already have their own?
Well, I don't know about the various polities around here. I've not heard of anybody else having a flying convention center.
I would say that for the most part, ships with that kind of luxury cabin space are more often used as transport, luxury transport for rich and famous, with escorts, of course. And
our only real competition, which is kind of what I'm getting at, although I heard an "and," right, is the megacorps at that point.
yes.
Who are the de facto governments?
Right. So the question is, do you get a bunch of luxury cabins so that we can invite a bunch of, I don't know, what's the thing? Federation of Independent Planets or whatever?
League
Those
of
guys.
Autonomous Worlds.
There we go. League of Autonomous Worlds diplomats on board at some point? And then, is that the kind of thing that you actually envision happening? Because if we're not going to do something like that, if that's not really a thing that makes sense, ambition-wise, there's not a lot of point to this. Because, again, the megacorps are going to have their own luxury cabins, and they're going to stay on them. And Union will have one just as heavily armed.
Well, the point that I was trying to drive at in my answer is that most of the luxury cabin equipped ships from the megacorps are going to be primarily transportation. The kind of convention centers are usually going to be planet-wide, or not planet-wide, but surface. There may be a ship or two like what you're proposing out there, but they're I for whatever reason I don't see them as being very typical.
Okay, so hear me out. A heavily armed flying convention center is, in addition to a flying convention center, a heavily armed flying prison with only a little bit of alteration to its mission profile, as it were. Which means basically it's going to look like a really great place to keep hostages to all these mega corporate people who you might want to invite aboard. And they're not going to want to come on.
You're saying the quiet part out loud.
I am, but only to the people who actually are entitled to hear the quiet part. I want to just get all this out there, okay? It sounds like Tullar's done all the number crunching that anybody's going to need to do, so let's just think about the consequences and ramifications of going down this road, is my point.
I mean, and what I really want to know is, can we eke out another mass and energy so that we can put cold sleep pods in so that we have something to do with those occupants?
I return again to fantastic place to take hostages.
I'm done now.
See, there's extended med bay, unless we already have that.
We already have that.
We'd have that.
Oh, okay. Lifeboats.
So really the question is your ambition to at some point have a big fancy party where somebody gets stabbed by a guy disguised as an Andorian and Captain Kirk has to fight a guy?
Lifeboats are actually a really good idea.
Because I gotta tell you, virtually every, a bunch of space people get on board the Enterprise for a fancy meeting episode on Star Trek ends in somebody getting shanked, or like Picard getting sexually harassed and somebody getting shanked, or barrels fall on somebody, or
And then everyone plays, Cluedo and tries to figure out who did it.
Right. So is this something you guys think would be fun? If so, build the ship that way, then you have the option of trying to make it happen later.
There's also, it might be excessive. Well, I guess smugglers' holds are more useful for ships that can go down on planet side, aren't they?
Yeah. It still has use in the occasion when you get boarded and inspected, but Oogie circumvents a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, and I guess also smugglers' hold. So smugglers' hold is just basically cargo space that you pay for. Now look at it.
If someone else gets
it just
board,
takes one mass and it gives the same amount that free mass would give you.
But it's secret.
Yeah.
But it's secret.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's necessarily useful to us. And what about how much do these cost?
It might be a little
if we had some shit
spending.
that came from somewhere that we because they said, if they really want to press it and Oogie can't out Oogie them, they're just like, okay, come aboard, and then we hopefully have enough hidden away in the smuggler's hold.
Right. If you, hypothetically had a bunch of Mercure servers that proved they had made a whole bunch of people into zombies that you wanted to hide. Sorry.
Maybe, hypothetically.
A smuggler's hold on a cruiser is 200 tons.
No, it's a capital. It's 20 tons on a cruiser.
Oh, capital. You're right. You're
Which
right.
is still a fairly spectacular amount of
Sorry,
stuff.
my bad.
but-
It
I
is.
didn't misread it.
It is still
Yeah.
a huge amount of stuff. Yes.
If
No.
we get those 2 extra mass, instead of turning them into luxury cabins or into cargo space, we could also do life pods and a fuel bunker. Between the fuel scoops and the bunker, we would never run out of fuel.
That's true. That would actually free up. That would make a.
On most levels, that's
Operating,
more appealing. But I gotta be honest, putting a bunch of cabins on there does sound fun, even if it means I'm gonna have to hire a bunch of NPCs with like livery at some point.
I mean, if we still have the one luxury cabin, that still gives us like, we can still carry around a few VIPs. Like, I think you leave a few for VIPs too. That's no big deal. If we really desperately need to, carry more VIPs, we could just genuinely, hey, give up our rooms for a bit.
Or we bring the
Heaven
VIPs
forbid.
on board and we use putting them in regular crew quarters as a way of telling them what their place is.
I'm hearing a lot of really excellent ideas here. These seem like great plans that should definitely be indulged and played out.
I agree.
Or do we need a cargo lighter? Or we already have one?
We already have the drop pod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have
Good.
a shuttle.
Well then, I need that.
That is something else you
Well-
could consider is an actual shuttle bay.
Oh, a shuttle bay.
Mm-hmm.
And get a fighter in there, like pew pew pew.
Heck,
Oh,
you
ship
could.
bay, right?
Let's see.
So the answer is today everybody watching gets to watch us try to design a ship. What do I do about it?
No, we're not going to spend too much longer on this.
I thought I had this all figured out, and then we were told yesterday that we have the free.
Yeah, I understand. You got a gift, and now you got to explore the possibilities. So it's cool.
I do apologize for that late notice. It only occurred to me, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what about that thing?
Never apologize. It makes you look weak to your players.
That's okay, I use that to my advantage. So, you've currently got 2 free mass or 4 free power or some combination thereof. You can add a shuttle bay for that, or a fighter bay. You could accommodate either. That's exactly 2 free mass right there. Oh, did everybody go silent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what other like cool stuff we could get. But I'm struggling.
In a weird way, I don't actually feel like I have a lot of interest in what we end up with. I have some interest in the consequences of what we end up with, but I'm way more into what we do with it. So
Mm-hmm.
my contribution is going to be purely along the lines of what I just said.
Yeah, I think I've said my piece. I'm going to step away for just a quick moment here. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well,
Because we haven't even got into the mods yet, but that's for the future.
yeah, I think we're pretty much good on the mods. I don't think that the bro will do too much more than the Q-ship cladding and the extended mass support. Bearing in mind that extended mass support is costing some components as well. Pre-tech components.
Yeah, that's a really big
Yeah.
deal.
But no, I like our stuff.
Yeah, some of the other mods definitely are interesting. I think you'll just have to add them later on as, regular non-integral mods. I'm allowing the extended mass support because I've used it on several proprietary design? I don't know. Specifically designed ships. Oh, not token. Dang it, I just had the word. Bespoke. I've used it for several bespoke designs of Megacorp ships. And so I feel like it's one of those things that is easier to include. but let's get the opinion from those that are here. It sounds like the double luxury cabins has been denied. And
that's a 3-2 vote. If so, I am voting for. So you should confirm it.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. So we've got I guess there's more discussion on this than I thought. Should I leave this for another week?
I mean, we're not flying off with it.
No.
Anyways, right?
No,
we could think about it for a while. Come back to it at the end.
Sounds good. I honestly thought that this would be a quicker discussion at the beginning.
It would have been, and then, like you said, the parameters changed.
All right, so we'll come back to that. We've got a basic design here with the extended mass support and the addition of a ship bay for a shuttle or a fighter, whichever you choose to bring along with you. You were already also planning on building a shuttle of some sort, which is why the Build-A-Ship 2 is in there. And so we'll leave that for later. Let's jump into other decision-making processes. Before that, were there any scenes that anyone wanted to continue or play out? I remember there was some engineering stuff. Mm-hmm. And some.
It'll be easier to answer that question if you clarify a point for me.
What's that?
From the point at which Izzy came out of the tube to the end of downtime, how long is that?
That is going to depend on what mission you choose. If you choose a mission that takes you to the edge of Kamiega or the edge of Zenthra and back, then it'll be several weeks. If you choose a mission that will take you to the edge of the sector,
not to the next one, to this one right now.
That's exactly what I mean.
Okay.
If you choose a mission that takes you to the edge of the sector and back, then what will happen is I'll basically say, okay, you guys have been selected to leave in a week, and other mission teams will go out later. Again, so that by the time you get back from your multiple months journey...
Yeah, no, I see where you're going with this now.
Yeah. So I can't directly answer that until you guys choose which mission you want to go on.
Can you give me a minimum?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I said that 2 weeks was a kind of kibosh that Raza Command was putting on things while they figured out how the lawsuit is going to affect their operations. That's another exciting thing that we do in this game for those who are viewing is lawsuits.
You're really selling it, man.
All right.
I don't think I had any scenes I wanted to in particular play out.
Okay.
Okay.
Tulare may have still stepped away.
Might be.
Someone refresh my memory. I thought that there was going to be a bit of... Okay, got it, thanks.
Gear-related escapades?
Yeah, gear-related escapades. Somebody had something... Oh, it was Tulare again, yeah. There was the chair, and there was also the horse. Well, the hover horse.
So I probably have more money to sort out. I don't think I ever actually took the money from the. Gosh, where is that under announcements? Because like you'd given us like just the money that we got paid for the time in the session.
How much did we get paid again?
But then
It's
9,000. It was 9,000 just from daily pay, right?
Yeah, and I added the mission bonus right into that same. Post. So it's pinned in planning. Just gotta scroll down a little bit past the mission layouts.
I've got a bit of cash because I've been frugal with it, but I still can't afford a hover horse. Not yet. That'll wait.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
You should at least get, should or could at least get designers working on it.
On an unrelated note, I believe Johnny can now afford to show accurate replica gun that actually works.
Nice, nice.
So you'll have to let me know when that becomes relevant.
Okay, we'll do.
Max is up to 16,000. Not long off getting a upgrade.
Oh, whoops. Let me roll my hit points too.
I ain't even leveled up yet.
Yeah.
In this intervening time, would it be possible for Amaya to throw another mod onto one of her things?
Sure.
I will probably want mods, but let me see. The Lancer was it 3,000? Or was it? I'll
Start
find
a
it.
queue for that. Machine Symbiont.
Oh, it's 2,000 credits. Okay, so I've got 10,000 left.
For your benefit there also, Aura, Izya is going to gain 2 more XP at the end of this intermission.
Okay.
So
That should put me, what, at 3 with no XP?
yeah,
Got it. Do you want me to get that done now then? It's not
that's up
hard.
to that's up to you.
Nope. Well, it's kind of up to just math. It's level 3, so some skills need to go to 2, and there are only 2 that matter that much.
Okay.
So.
Do it.
Yeah, and I'm not too worried about whatever skill bonuses you'd get through any rolls that you make today. I see horse was added to the emoticons, the reactions. Nice. All right. Well, if there's no other roleplay scenes that anybody wants to get into right now, let's get into some of the crew management. First off, tell me which of the crew you took on your last mission you want to see promoted.
Ooh.
That's from the crew that were on your ship. You get to choose one.
Fairbanks.
Yeah, Fairbanks did pretty good.
All right. I've got
We're going
Fairbanks.
to,
Go ahead, Knox.
We're going to use the what was it? The information. That would be Fairbanks being sent out for it.
I missed the first part of that. Can you repeat it?
Last mission, we had received some kind of information that was kind of like a blackmail thing. I was under the impression that if we redeemed that, we'd be sending Fairbanks out for that. If we don't need to send Fairbanks out for that, then I'm all for bringing Fairbanks onto the ship.
Oh no, this is just to decide who from your previous crew is getting a promotion.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm dumb and unobservant. Ignore me.
All right. Well, I've got a nomination and a second for Fairbanks. The only other options you had were Elena, Natalia, Ivan, and Alexei. Not Elena, sorry. Lily Grace, Natalia, Ivan, and Alexei. And
Maybe Ivan, just make him top chef in it. No, I think Fairbanks is a good shout though.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I seem to recall we vaguely had a discussion before bringing her down on the mission
Mm-hmm.
that we wanted narrative justification to give her the promotion afterward, and that was it. So.
Okay. Cool. Then I'll make note of that and give her some promo benefits over the course of the next week. No issues with that on my end, Miakin. And now you've got the very challenging task of figuring out what missions you want to take and how you want to use that intel. Uh, words. A proposal has been presented. Just a little ways up by Tulare. And that was to use the Mercurintel to resolve infra drive, and then Daddy Warbucks, the Eagle and the Wren, or Dark Cold Silence, all getting a self and mission team, and then just choosing which one of those would be the mission team.
I mean, I think Intel is a no-brainer.
Okay.
Might as
Yeah,
well
it
use
seems like
that.
yeah, it seems like we've all been on that page for about a week now.
Yep.
It's the others that I'm the bit. I think we should potentially send the NPCs on Daddy Warbucks. And we should go to Eagle and the Wren. Because it's negotiations, and I think Oogie would be in his prime for that. And also, it lets us as players understand what the situation is and what's in store. And then we have one more NPC to send out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Do we just send it to Dark Cold Silence to do intel, or do we send it to Graveyard? I mean, it's one of them. I don't think anything dreadful would happen from Graveyard, but it'd be very interesting to see why we're being, I'll say, targeted by Dark Cold Silence.
Last week, people seemed really keen on Dark Cold Silence, and I guess I wasn't really sure why. And I think maybe it's because other people are more familiar with David than I am.
Yeah, I
Dave
couldn't
is
tell
just-
either. So
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Dave has just been you know, like how you have like the news things.
Mhm.
David's been a very creepy presence in those for a long time. He like speaks in like it's like it sounds like a young boy speaks in like all the things are like I mean, you should be able to look at Black News here. Let me see.
No, I
Bullshit
get it.
riddle.
I kind of picked up
Sorry.
on the vibe. It's just that folks seem to be like, "Oh, news from David. We have to do that one."
Oh, well, I was joshing that, or well, not Josh. I was really wanting to figure out what the deal was behind David at some point too. I think, did we find any confirmation that David was an AI in the same vein as was it April?
If you
I think
you
we
got that kind of uncertainty where if ABNN, the news network, is all AI, just like ABNN, the algorithmic AI you found over in Onalau, actually the other place, then David is one of the AI reporters with them.
Gotcha.
So yes, if you think the news network is AI, then David is certainly AI,
Right.
along with April and
Right.
the others.
Strong at least suspicion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. ABNN has
Anyways.
not ever actually confirmed it for you, though.
That aside, I know y'all really want to do the Daddy Warbucks, but
Yeah, I think
Trying to
NPC's Daddy Warbucks, Intel, driving for a wild. We do
oh,
Eagle. And then send NPC Dark Cold Silence as well, because we have 2 NPCs available. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Sweet. I mean, that's what I think.
Mission name's wrong.
Sorry, which one are you wanting us to go on again?
If you look at top left of ship crew.
Oh, okay.
Are those too small? You can zoom in.
Pretty much Tillers saying we should go Daddy Warbucks. I'm saying we should go Eagle.
Okay.
Mainly because I think Oogie would be in his element for the Eagle one, potentially.
I think Oogie would be in his element for either.
Yeah.
And
It's also one of them. Do we want to deal with Zoe?
It might be easier for Dexter not to. But it would also be pretty interesting to see what Dexter does with that.
well,
So, pretty much we just needed to decide if we're all in agreement for the rest of them, then it's just we need to decide if we're going on Eagle or Daddy. For
What
us.
if I really want to push You Used to Be Cool? What if I really want to push that one? No.
What, the one that explicitly says no?
Yes.
You could certainly talk to Alyssa about it if you do want to push it.
Nah, I guess I should. Let me see. What was that a continuation of?
You used to be
Oops.
so
I
cool.
was just trying to scroll that.
That was a news
There we
tip from April.
Oh,
Hence the title.
Yep. Oh yeah, the mysterious Audrey, which that was actually something that Jai wanted. That was one of the things that Jai really wanted to pursue, right? Is Aldrima?
Yeah, Audrima was a goal of Jai in the main campaign, or the vacant campaign. It's easy to explain how priorities have shifted in this. But yeah, that was of interest to Jai. All right, and is anyone still making a wanting to make an argument for Dark Cold Silence? I think it's Cold Dark Silence, isn't it?
I'll concede that since
Okay.
it's really just unless Knox feels otherwise.
On the Dark Cold Silence, however, if the party is going in a different direction, then that's where I'm going.
I guess. I don't know. Arling's saying either.
There's just a lot of mystery to it, being called out specifically by an AI.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think we should send the NPCs just to do a scout out, because that way they're not getting the exact group they're after, but they're getting close enough.
Let me see. Which one's more likely to have a shootout, Daddy Warbucks or Eagle and the Wren?
Daddy Warbucks.
Eagle and the Wren.
Warbucks, and it'll be Zoe shooting.
One of them's
Pirates.
dealing with pirates. Well, and I guess Zoe hasn't really gotten into shootouts.
One of the things that Command anticipates happening with Daddy Warbucks is that as soon as you arrive, Zoe is going to be taken off your hands on a forced vacation with her father.
Oh yeah. But
So
that turns into a gunfight.
This may be a spoiler territory, but I have to ask because I'm confused about it now that I reread Eagle and the Wren.
Mm-hmm.
A virtual meeting of the powers. So, what? I mean, I understand what the role play there would look like, but what's the actual adventure in a virtual meeting?
I don't think it means digital.
Yeah, I think I meant that as a meeting.
I was expecting some Lawnmower Man / reboot stuff. Damn. I'm disappointed.
Let me pull up my documents and I'll peruse my full notes on it.
Yeah, I think it's virtual in the other by the other meaning essentially.
It's actually just a Zoom call.
That would make a kind of a weird mission, wouldn't it? Though actually, I guess you'd still need to be physically close to, somewhat physically close.
If you didn't want a more or less interminable delay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd assume it's something like everybody come park your ship somewhere near here and we'll talk. But
But I think it's the same. A virtual meeting usually, or a virtual meeting of the powers is kind of like saying it's like maybe it's not exactly meeting of the powers, but
you send a guy.
It's basically a meeting of powers.
Yeah, this is meant to be an in-person meeting, and
I would probably just take virtual out because that I got what that meant, but it is confusing, particularly when you're talking about sci-fi.
How about a meeting of the local powers?
Local powers. There you go.
There you go. And they're not even really local powers. The virtual was intended, much as Meowkin was taking it, as they're virtually powers. Almost powers.
I didn't even register it originally. I was assuming it was a sit down the whole time, but that was because I didn't see the word.
So many different ways you could phrase that to throw shade. A meeting of the alleged powers in Zentra.
Of the demi powers.
Here, how about we put powers in quotation marks to shade it. Of the local powers arrayed in Zentra.
I know it's an often claimed thing that you can't communicate tone via text, but the different ways that people have come up with to try are a delight to me.
Yeah. All right, so you've got two proposals, both differing only in which mission the PC team goes for. Actually, let me back up just a second there, because one, Nox was about to say something. Go ahead.
It was continuing these not important conversation that can wait.
Okay. I asked Meowkin if he wanted to continue to push for Dark Cold Silence. I think I heard you say, Nox, that you did want to, but I'm not certain. Were you ambivalent? How did you feel about Dark Cold Silence as the PC mission?
Really on Dark Cold Silence, I would rank it as the number one thing priority-wise. Assuming that we use the to bribe information to do the thing with the infradrive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if the rest of the party is going somewhere else, I'm not going to drag us to Dark Cold Silence.
All right, so I'll leave it up there though, as basically your decision is which of these three is going to be your mission team. You're all set on these three missions being taken by somebody.
Yep.
So
just a matter of.
Yep. Yeah.
I do like the mystery, but also really can't the. I don't know if Nox is feeling that. I still think I kind of get Dark Cold Silence unless knowing that that's one of the tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to draw away from just because again I've had a fixation on figuring out what the deal is with David. So I feel like I might be biased on that because on a out of character level, but that's also kind of the consideration here, right?
It is kind of the consideration. It's what do you guys? So you've identified all three of these things as important. What looks the most interesting for you guys to do as players now?
Yes. So, like, based on that criteria, I do think Darkhold Silence, but
I don't have strong
Where are
feelings
the
about
fingers
this.
listed?
I agitate for Daddy Warbucks mostly because everybody else agitates against it.
Magic. Once we're finished with these 3/4 missions, we just have the space to do whatever we want, and whatever we want is Daddy Warbucks.
So are you suggesting we do all the others instead?
say not to do Daddy Warbucks with NPCs.
Daddy Warbucks is the only one that isn't on like the biggest time crunch.
I think it feels like it's getting a bit more serious, right?
Things have certainly been happening.
Cassian LaRue certainly disagrees with the urgency of getting some quality time with his daughter.
The yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if it'll be the same without Zoe, without the OG Zoe.
Well, that is why I'll take the Zoe out as an NPC. There are things for you to do there. Obviously it is scheduled as a long mission.
Oh yeah. Also, I don't think we need to do a long mission.
Now let me remind you about the mechanics. When you send mission teams or the mission commanders, the NPCs, if they succeed, then they simply complete the mission. It's done. They've succeeded at it. If they fail, there's a chance for somebody on that mission team to be taken out of action, whether that's through death, by being recruited over to the other side, or some kind of horrific, traumatic experience. But the mission that they were on will neither... It won't go away. It will not evolve in a way that takes it away, and it will not be completed. You'll have another shot at it, basically.
Oh, wait, guys, I've got a great idea. We buy a bunch of people with red shirts on, and we just keep sending them to missions we don't want, and they'll stay forever on hold.
So the Killbot strategy.
Exactly.
Does
We'll
the
have
mission
the
have
same missions like in 20 weeks.
Does the mission have a preset kill limit though?
Yes.
There's only so much space they can get in these luxury cabin jail cells.
It's until the players show up. That's the kill limit.
Yeah. The GM might have some thoughts about that, but we'll only explore those thoughts if you explore the idea.
I don't see anything wrong with that proposal. But no. Well then, what we're thinking. Are we going to go to the Darkhold Silence? Or we're going to go talk to some peeps? Or we're going to go handle a child?
Well, I don't think anyone's made a strong play for Graveyard Exorcism, right?
Nah.
I can't. Izzy doesn't remember why it would matter yet.
I think I don't know. I think my vote's going to Darkhold Silence for the PC mission.
I'm okay with that.
I find that to be I like the mystery. I guess we don't really know how the mission's gonna play out, but I'm sure there'll be something to talk to, even if it's just David.
I mean, I'm most interested in Eagle and the Wren, but any of these is fine.
Alright, I've got 2 votes for Darkhold Silence. We'll add Nox on there. 3 votes.
Well, then it's decided.
It's decided. Right.
You are using the intel on Driving for a World, correct?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Okay.
All right. You are being kept on the marmoset for that because they want to use the Oops. Oh wow. The cruiser for Eagle and the Wren. Not cruiser. The Corvette.
So can I use our dang new cruiser?
No, the the Corvette. And nope, your new cruiser is customized, so it is going to take some time to build.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
Another reason they're not to go on a long mission.
yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm not averse to the argument that we're close enough to the next level that a short mission gets us there.
That's what say the quiet part out loud.
So, Eagle, because Cubicle Dexter can't do basic math.
Actually, that's why all of your first all your missions on the first 2 turns were only short missions.
For Eagle and the Wren, NPCs. I don't know. I've got a hunch here. Scotty and Minji. Their background profiles feel right for going and talking to pirates.
I feel like Scotty's not a. Yeah, I think Scotty's pretty good. He can't gain a level from it because he's already level 2. But
I mean, that doesn't really matter.
Were those words, Ben?
Yeah, that don't really matter.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
See, we're saving Armstrong because here's the plan for Daddy Warbucks.
Oh no.
We send the 2 most annoying NPCs we have with Zoe on the slowest ship available, so that by the time that they get to I don't remember the place, but by the time they get back to her father, she will be desperate for any better company.
It's like a civil conversation.
There's one flaw in your plan.
I don't see it.
Zoe likes Armstrong.
But Zoe doesn't like Pratt.
Zoe does not like Pratt. Nobody likes Pratt.
Jonas is Pratt.
There's a very real chance that the NPC doesn't succeed this, and I don't think Pratt deserves to die.
No, I think Pratt needs to go.
Really?
Now remember, the specialist slot only gives a +1 if their specialty actually contributes to the mission.
Dang.
Or a +2 if their specialty contributes and they're level 2.
But if we're trying to intentionally tank the mission, no.
Let's we've been talking about all this for quite some time. Let's get some role play in here.
Ugh.
I know. I'm demanding some role play. So, what's Izya up to?
Come back to me.
Okay. What is Marcus up to?
Because we're still at Bro, correct? Or are we migrated off from there now?
What was the question?
Are we still at the Bro's location, or have we migrated away from?
Oh
that?
no, you're back on Kamiega. You're back at Dry Sun.
Okay. Marcus will probably do a boring thing, which is to walk around, see if he can spot any other psychics to try and befriend, rather than the one who doesn't want to share his seat.
Okay.
Who he thinks is a little bit grumpy. Apart from that, just kind of like tend to the people, just try and help them out, basically.
Okay.
And also rent out his chair to the kids. The cost is they have to tell their friends to go and try it as well.
Oh.
Is he using it as a catapult for the children?
No, it's fixed now.
Oh.
It's fixed. But remember that that chair came from the arcade where the kids are. So
Maybe
there's
those kids aren't allowed in it. And the ones there, who knows?
no, those chairs were brought in specifically for those kids on the Delta Rain team.
Oh, right.
So
Oh.
the only kids that Marcus can entice with the chair are those that are not on the Delta Rain team and have been kind of snubbed from the arcade, which, as it turns out, is Riley and Gwen Reed.
Hell yeah.
So wait, are you trying to incite a rebellion now?
No. Trying to gain favor with the, little ones.
So, tell me how Marcus is doing this without it coming across inappropriate.
Too late.
I'm trying to turn that around. So many Van jokes.
Well, Marcus is trying to spin it that, like, he wants to get more of these seats, but he needs to, like, showcase that it's not just him that loves it. He has to get other people to love it as well. And then, people will get a buy-in, and then we'll get more seats.
Okay.
So that's why he's trying to get other people to, like, pass along the word saying, hey, look, go try this seat.
All right.
So eventually everyone will want one. Therefore, everyone will get one.
So, do you want Marcus to set something up, or do you want a chance opportunity?
Nah, it's going to be like a chance opportunity kind of deal.
Marcus, here's the buzzer to. I should draw this just real quick. Let me freehand real quick. What your guys' place looks like. So, that's the basic idea. There's pathways to each of these corners. Only one of them is actually only two of them are actually exits out. The others are like storage or pantry, and these triangles are your rooms. Right? So like
I
they're
don't live back.
what's that?
Huh? Nothing.
They're bisected. You've got like a little bathroom area and a living area here, and then sleeping and all that. They're designed in some way that you've actually got a separated space, and then those hallways and storage areas, and this is your communal room right in the center. And so Marcus has heard the buzzer and to come into your group apartment. You six have been roomed together in one of these spaces, in one of these hexes. You each have your own separate rooms, and sees that Gwen Reed and Riley have used their access credentials to let themselves in, and have gone and buzzed and knocked at Oogie's door. Now, Oogie's not there right now. But they stand out there in that common area, talking for a little bit, depending on how long Marcus takes to spring his chair ambush on them.
That's right now. It's like, it's going to hear the knock. He's going to walk up over, open it up. Who are you after?
Oh, is Oogie here?
Unless it's gone invisible, then no. That'd be a neat trick, though, wouldn't it?
Not really. This is from Riley.
What do you mean? So you're telling me, if you had the ability to go invisible for like a minute, you wouldn't ever use it?
Crew's always invisible. Unless he
I
doesn't
know.
want to be.
Imagine being able to join him in being invisible. Imagine the mischief you get up to.
She gives kind of that a teenage eye roll of yeah. Go ahead and roll me a notice check. Notice with wisdom.
I'm great at these.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gwen picks up from here. It could be fun sometimes. Just, you know what? No, that's dumb. I
Why is it dumb?
don't know. I was
You're telling me
practically
having
invisible
fun.
on, Gorman.
What do you mean by practically? As in just people ignored you?
The people I wanted to ignore me didn't, and the people that didn't, I wanted to.
Well, at least everyone's paying attention to you now. Would you prefer nobody did?
Sometimes, yeah. And Riley nods her head in agreement. I guess so.
See, well, I've got a treat for you then. Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on. Max is just gonna walk back into the room.
Okay. And they follow him.
So, you see that there? And he's gonna point to the chair. That
Yeah,
is my way of becoming invisible.
one of those chairs that we're not allowed to sit in. We're not cool enough for it. This is from Reed.
Why aren't you cool enough?
And from Riley. The people in the guys in the arcade won't let me in.
Ah. Who else isn't cool enough to sit in one of these chairs?
Reed stands a little more proudly. Well, I've refused because they won't let Riley play.
So, sounds to me like you both need to sit in that chair, take photos of it, and make other people jealous because you've got your own personal one
What?
that you can use anytime you want.
They both look at him with that twisted expression of, did he say something? Does this make sense? What would that do?
Well, one, you'd be able to use it, but two, make them jealous because you can use this whenever you want and don't have to pay.
Riley does take a step forward. I do kind of want to feel what's so special about this.
It's also, I'm just curious because, like, I really enjoy it, but, like, you know, like the new guy, I tried getting him to sit in it and he just ignored me.
He always looks so grumpy.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know if that's just because he's been asleep for so long or if he's just generally grumpy.
No, Cruz says he's kind of off too. Riley
Off?
moves toward the chair and pops up into it.
Now, do you just want to sit in it or do you want, like, you know, the thing, you know, where you, like, look, the virtual reality stuff?
What's that? And at this point, Gwen jumps in and says real quick, Riley didn't have a lot of tech where she grew up, so
Oh.
it. And Riley says, "Is it like what Oogie gave me?"
Ooh, what did Oogie give you?
And she shows him it is virtual reality tech. It's augmented reality. It plays a concert, basically
yeah.
in your field of view.
Yeah, I knew that.
Or
I
other
just wanted to make
things.
sure. Yeah, pretty much like that. You just imagine you're somewhere else. You could be on a beach relaxing, listening to the waves, or you could be sat in like the fighter pit trying to, you know, shoot people out
Waves.
the sky.
Waves.
You know.
Riley
Max is
and Gwen both shake their head. Riley with a little bit of sadness, and Gwen with a little bit of warning. Not warning, caution.
Marcus not really paying any mind is going to try and like, look for something like that scene that he's envisioning, basically.
Okay. Yeah, he can find that in the presets, even if it didn't already exist. He can certainly have added it.
Yeah, there we go. All set. Ready when you are.
Okay. He puts it on her and gets it all adjusted and turns it on. and she bolts tense, grips the edge of the seat with her fists, knuckles whitening.
Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Why is there so much water?
It's not touching you, right?
She actually draws her feet up from the from relaxed to scrunching back against her.
Oh, just take it off. Take it off. If you don't like it, just take it off.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Stop.
It's just cold water.
She tries to relax, puts her feet back down.
Look,
How
you can't feel it, can you?
there's little haptic vibration and stuff. It's definitely not the feeling of water touching your feet, but there's some little sensory something. A regular person can their brain. A regular person who has felt water at their lapping at their feet. Their brain might be better suited to associate it the same from a little bit of haptic feedback there. But obviously, someone who's never felt that is just going to feel a little bit of motion or vibration in the footrest.
I mean, I've heard of taking a shower before.
It's unclear if Riley has.
Ugh.
I mean,
I have to spray down this chair.
no. Riley has hygiene here.
Yeah.
But it could just be sonic showers.
It's unclear what kind of
or dust baths.
Dust baths. Well,
where Riley's from, Unallow or Unallow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they did have working plumbing there, but they had to be fairly careful about it. They couldn't use electricity in great amounts.
So, what about the waters that putting you off right now?
It looks cold and it's dark and it's blue and I don't like this. Take it off.
All right. Relax. Come on. I'm just gonna take it off her.
It felt too much like home.
Well, I'm both happy and sad.
Yeah, oof.
Well, home was a couple hundred people and just always trying to fight off the Vega and the shadows, the smokes, and always looking at me like I'm a tool, a weapon.
Well, hopefully you don't feel like that around us.
No, everyone here's been nice. Like I get used for training sometimes. Brew gets used for training. But I understand why.
I mean, he was a pretty cool guy to train with. Very unique. Imagine being able to turn invisible. See what I mean? But anyway, if you ever want to visit, I guess, home again, for whatever reason, then just let me know, okay?
Well, I'll wrap this up with they stay a while and explore different scenes. As long as that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, both Gwen and Riley are, well, they're fairly fascinated with this chair, and they seem to have become resolved to insist on their entrance into the arcade.
Exactly. They've had their own custom experience, can do it whenever they want.
I told you, you're gonna incite a rebellion.
More opportunities to get broken chairs.
I see.
All right. So during that, was let's say that some of the other crew were not in their quarters because they were off talking to Amaya. This should include what's his name, Archibald and Oogie, and can easily include Izya if Izya wants to understand a little bit more about the gear and tech that he'll be apparently going on missions with.
Seems like a good idea.
Okay. Fantastic.
And,
So, put Nox on the spot here. Sorry.
I was gonna say one thing for Archibald was like an issue. Like I imagine there's got to be some sticker shock because Maya mentioning the having a preference for doing mastercraft, like actually doing custom work, like mastercrafting the weapons. And I was like looking at the price of that for the lance rifle.
I will make an admission that part of it is just the out of character thing, that it just doesn't make too much sense for that to happen like that.
For what? This
For things gaining the concealed mod and it not being built around containing the concealed mod.
Oh, so
as well as upkeep is not kept.
Yep. Sorry, go ahead, Nox.
So part of that is just out of character justification.
But you were saying for concealed mods, you do the master crafting.
Yep, for the concealed mod, I insist on master crafting it.
Okay. I can see that.
I do have a preference for making this stuff anyways. It's less stuff that I need to maintain, and also it makes the object personalized.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to get personalized one from our. I guess how we have access to the lance rifles, right? But presumably they still had to be made here, right?
Yeah, I think what I said is that Archibald will have one, and then it'll become available for. Oh no! What I said was once you've bought it, then it becomes available in the armory.
Gotcha. Well, anyways, yeah. So I'm getting one of those.
How much were they? 3,000?
It was 2,000 base.
2,000 base. So that would be 30K for one.
For
concealed one.
Concealed. Yeah.
Yeah. If you lack some of the funds, I'm willing to spot it. I am just sitting on 15K right now, and they can just catch me back whenever we get more.
I only have 12K. And also that one, honest, I don't know if that one necessarily needs to be concealed, anyways.
True.
So I think I'm just gonna get that I'm just gonna lance rifle and have you customize it. I guess presumably Amaya would be involved in the creation of it in the first place, based on the specs that we found, right?
Yeah, probably.
I am kind of a monkey on the ship.
Say feature monkey on the ship? What?
Yeah, what was that? What kind of monkey, Nox?
Mod monkey.
Mod monkey. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so I'm just getting it customized.
All right. Oogie and Izya are getting to see the design for those binocular glasses. I've forgotten what you named it. As it's getting refined, and they're quite comfortable.
If anybody uses it on a trial basis now, there is an addendum to the waiver that information is recorded from the headset and will be stored and reviewed later.
Yeah, but who reads that stuff?
Yeah,
it's probably what he's doing, actually. He's handed any glasses.
I mean, has nobody realised yet that Max is also, getting the only invisible person on the ship on his good side, so that way he can potentially wipe out whatever's on that video.
Quiet River also recommended having a AR warning actually in the field of view when the glasses are put on. You know how like some car displays will warn you that charging your phone is bad or whatever on that display that you're expecting to show you a map, and you have to click a button to make it go away? Quiet River suggested the glasses do that.
I'm sorry, do what?
Basically display a warning that all video is recorded and subject to later review right there in the user's field of view when they put it on.
In the field of vision.
No, it can stay in the waiver.
Okay.
If they don't read it, that's their problem.
Quiet River just says, playing with fire.
Nobody who cannot read is going to be able to use it anyways.
Quiet River mutters a word about cold weather and men who stand within it.
I don't understand what that means, so I'm going to let it go.
There's some vague allusion to Marcus and his last name Snow.
One day
you're
I'll
going to need this rather long. I guess this is a license agreement translated into a few more languages.
No. Did they have it translated into more languages, or is it just a spacer for the mission team?
It's by default it's printed in spacer. I can print out. It's a one-page sheet.
Okay.
I can just I can space Google Translate it if somebody can't read Common or Spacer.
Spoogle.
No.
Yeah, I do not like that name.
I tried it, and it's rendering poorly in Islandese.
Oh. Oh man, it would.
It reads as very untrustworthy in the machine translation.
Well, it is a good thing that the Raza hires people that speak and understand Spacer.
Do they though?
How many people that are on the Raza that don't speak or understand Spacer?
I don't understand it.
I mean, that explains a lot vis-a-vis the additions to the license agreement, but
Wait, does Marcus not speak Spacer? I forgot that.
British English, Germanic,
That's
Communion.
right. That's right. He has difficulty understanding Spacer.
I do love that.
Yeah.
Fit right in with the Nemesis there.
Yep.
There's always one.
There could always be one.
other than that, these seem pretty remarkable. But you really ought to get the machine translation looked at.
I will add it to the list.
Oogie's poking his nose where it doesn't belong, looking at previous iterations, looking around for documentation on them.
Previous iterations of the doc.
These are right impressive, Maya.
You were looking for previous iterations of the documentation or previous iteration on the glasses?
Both. Just kind of looking for the design philosophy that has gone into them. Not really asking questions, just kind of poking around, looking. Not being respectful of Amaya's personal space or like professional space or stuff.
Everything that needs to be locked up is locked up. If you want to see the original is a post-it note hung up somewhere with just a wish list of designs from Charlie.
Well, I was just kind of like looking over this and thinking, I, I don't suppose I realized what a good designer you was. And it's a good thing, too. And he gets kind of this conspiratorial, wily look on his face. Because I got a humdinger of a project I want to put in front of you.
I don't think I know the term.
A humdinger?
A big whopper.
Izzy says something that in L&D's translates to a really big fish. Something along those lines, I guess. It's an idiom.
Yeah.
Why did he hesitate?
Humvee with a cowbell. Amazing. I mean, a Humvee with one cowbell is pretty good, but needs more cowbell.
What?
Anyways, Amaya, without further ado, and Oogie produces a piece of paper, and with much ado, unfolds it. And all it is, on one side, it's a picture of a horse with the word robot underneath it, circled, a cartoon explosion, and then on the other side, a picture of a motorcycle.
Oh, that feral child you've been hanging around with must have drawn this.
Oogie scowls at Izya. It so happens that art is not my strong suit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I believe that it conveys the design philosophy.
It's an exploding quadruped.
Oh, but it doesn't just explode. It explodes into a motorcycle.
I don't follow.
Oogie points at the horse and then makes like a semi-explosion, semi-transformation noise, and then points at the motorcycle.
Can you tell us what a transformation noise sounds like? Okay.
The horse
think I've
beats
got
the
it.
motorcycle?
So it sounds like a motorcycle with a bad engine. is your transformation sound?
Oh, for crying out loud. It's a robot horse that transforms into a motorcycle. I want one.
Is this a cultural thing? Do I just... We don't really have many motorcycles on Kaha, I don't think. I must be missing something.
Imagine if you had a riding tuna that transformed into a jet ski.
You can't ride tuna.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
Makes far more sense to use a pinniped. But anyway, go on.
Well, that's it. A robot horse that transforms into a motorcycle.
So it
It's
turns into
brilliant.
another thing that does almost the same thing for you.
Yeah, except one goes real fast and the other makes you look like a landlord.
And looking like a landlord is good.
Yeah, it is.
Because
Because it shows that you've got the scratch.
I get it now. This seems phenomenally wasteful. Who are you planning to impress with it?
Why, anybody I do business with, especially here on Kamiego.
Okay, I could see that working here.
And if it works here, it'll work everywhere.
I'm less certain about that.
That's because you lack vision.
Oh, is that what I'm missing?
Horse? Does this horse look like a robot?
That and memories.
Say that again, Knox.
Is it a horse or does it look like a robot?
It's a robot that looks like and acts like a horse.
Like a real horse or like a robot horse?
Well, no, that's an important question, because are we planning on hiring an ethologist to make sure it acts authentically like a horse, or do you want it to act like some sort of specific robot horse from media, perhaps? I've noticed you like cartoons.
Oogie's eyes have gotten wide. Oh, I hadn't even considered these questions. He fishes around for a scrap of pencil, and he starts writing notes on his cartoon. And he's got the word real, and he underlines it twice, and then he's got robot, and he does a weird squiggly underline.
So the horse form is also for infiltration in places where there are horses. Then, otherwise, it wouldn't need to convincingly resemble a real horse. You see.
Wait, I mean, it's as you have discerned, rather a status symbol. How many folks do you know that ride a real horse?
I've never seen a horse. Now, admittedly, I haven't spent a lot of time here, he points down. But I don't think they're actually all that common.
Oogie points at his robot horse, and then he kind of leans in and he says in a stage whisper, "They honestly don't look a whole lot like this. Like I said, Arn ain't my strong suit."
I had figured that part out already.
So this is how we get a replica of Lon Iron's horse, which is named
Gunpowder.
Gunpowder.
Wait, what is this? Is this a local lore thing that I was not previously aware of?
Yes, I will leave
in a sense
Aura to give you the highlights of it.
Lon Irons is the star of Sunset Mirage, the most famous piece of cowboy media in the sector. He rides around from settlement to settlement on a world that resembles Kamigo greatly, but actually isn't Kamigo. It's a cleverly manipulated soundstage, solving problems and shooting people mostly with the help of his able assistant. It is Johnny Murong's favorite television program, and for those people on Kamigo, privileged to have televisions, of course, one of theirs usually too. It's very, very violent. Lon Irons looks like a younger Lee Marvin. He can't act for shit, but he looks very impressive, which is why they cast him. He has a horse. He has a big rifle. It's called the Big Iron. You get the idea.
It isn't.
If somebody would actually show this to Oogie, who has somehow never seen it before,
Yep.
his eyes would just literally pop out of his head.
I can tell you that from what I have heard so far, Oogie and Johnny, who are the two Kamigo native characters involved in this particular interaction, come from literally the opposite ends of the social scale on Kamigo. So it makes sense.
It is entirely possible for Oogie to have never seen this show or heard more than passing reference to it with the way media works on Kamiego. So, yeah.
So how does this come to Oogie's attention? How does this come to Oogie's attention then?
Spoogle, from the sound of it, well, he tries to find a better picture of a horse.
Because as soon as he gets this horse, everybody who sees it is gonna be like, "Hey, just like Long Irons."
Oh, that actually would be funny. Yeah, he finds out after he designs the horse based off the one from the
unsourced images. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
It was like,
now you better hope
what?
you don't run into Johnny, because he's going to steal it. But
Exactly like that. That's how I want this to happen. Sounds great.
Awesome. Of course, so for now we'll just have to keep in mind that Oogie does not know what this is.
And of course, it does help that the unsourced image has named the horse Gunpowder for some reason.
All right, that's kind of a cool horse name. Not gonna lie.
It is.
Everything about Sunset Mirage except for Lon Irons' acting is actually very cool.
So when are we gonna get Oogie a musket? We're gonna get Oogie a gun, that just makes the musket sound whenever he fires it.
Oh no. Is musket a Western thing? I thought they used like
Not
rifles.
even a little. Not
Yeah.
even a
Oh,
little.
sorry.
Usually
not musket,
revolvers and
repeater.
yeah, repeaters.
Oh,
That's what I was
okay.
thinking
What
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before where I explained that the big iron actually is a repeater.
Yeah.
It's not a great big handgun, as you might expect from the name.
Oh. So it's not on his hip.
Big iron
No,
on his
apparently the words
hip.
of the song did not actually get involved in this naming decision.
Unless you try to keep that on your hip, which would be really weird.
All right. So how does Maya react to being asked to design for future construction? She's not being asked to build it in a day, I don't think. A robot horse that transforms into a motorcycle or hovercycle.
Maya has also never seen a horse.
All right. Sounds like there's a space in the future for a field trip to see horses.
And you know what? We've also figured out what the Ross's next lawsuit will be.
Yep. You just you really wanted to get entangled with more of the
At
megacorps,
this
didn't you?
rate, it's sounding like it might be a class action one, but that's okay.
All right. Anything to add to that scene, or is that curtains? Yeah. We'll go ahead and let that fade there. They perhaps have some discussion over design implementation, as well as get onto the internet to search.
Do I?
Oh, what's that, Knox?
I feel like I just don't come on the mic whenever my car is on. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it'll be put on the pile, but I don't know what I'm getting into here.
Okay. And
Sounds
yeah,
about right.
there have been some sound quality or connection quality issues, but I think we've been able to more or less make you out most of the time.
Okay.
So, with stating that, we're right about at 1 o'clock. Is there anything anyone wants to bring up for everyone's consideration during the break, or do we want to just go ahead and start our break and come back a little bit earlier? All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back at about it's 12:54 now, so we'll say 1:10 or whatever that translates to in your strange time zone.
Okanokas.
All right.
In that fanciful land of Minnesota.
Yeah, wherever you are, the time is different from where I am. All right, I'm gonna bring us back into frame now. Sorry for the extra delay there, but this was already going to be a little bit shorter. So I have added Blade, Acid, and Eclipse onto the board. Blade is male Trin. Acid and Eclipse are both female Trin. Acid has the additional advantage, that whole 20 years experience cracking and interfacing with Mandate Tech, of basically being the hacker that you guys were looking for. That gives you more than one option. You're not restricted to just having Acid on your crew to get some hacky expertise there. Whoops, wrong way. Acid stays there. Also good with computers are Simon Bennett over in Science, and think that's actually it. Yeah. As far as hacking goes, Armstrong is also good with the sensors, as you've experienced. Let's put Armstrong back over here with crew. Harry special, Riley special, Nova special. Millie is medic, Libra special, Lisa special, and Quill special. Quill would also be a good option for hacking, and Quill could be made regular crew if you guys want them to.
But then what about our Raza Rider? What are, how do we get a new Raza Rider?
Well, they would continue on as the Raza Rider. They would
Yeah.
simply begin learning more responsibilities around the ship, so that you can bring them along the ship, and they're not just doing nothing.
Okay, well, I don't know. Sounds like that's splitting their attention too much.
It might be. It might be.
Look, I'm just saying it's a very important job.
But now comes a difficult time where I do need to ask you to figure out
Assign
who
crew?
you want to take. Yeah, assign crew. You're staying on the Marmoset because Raza wants the advanced scanners out there for dark, cold silence, and wants to send the Corvette for Eagle and Wren. So a different ship will be handling Daddy Warbucks. It might be the Raza itself. Or one of the other ships that's floating around your fleet that's just, unnamed and undescribed. But yeah, Raza has more than just these 3 ships so far. So, who were we looking at for Eagle and Wren?
I think Scott. Someone mentioned Scotty and Minji. Scotty, I can actually really agree as a leader on something like that.
Okay.
I don't really know Minji that well, but I guess Scav. Dang, I don't know. That might be appropriate.
Their experience in dealing
Anyone else have any other ideas?
with Scav politics in the outlands of Egio, which is where she's from, would be relevant enough to give the specialist bonus. So
Anyone?
she's an option for you.
That seems like a fine plan.
Um,
I remember you mentioned that. I think it was.
Depending on how exciting you think the meeting is going to get, I can see it from being useful.
Or is it someone else?
What about Nova, just as like a backup?
Oh,
friend?
I'm sorry. How did? Okay, never mind.
Yep. Same
I'll
basic
wait.
attack. Same basic angle of attack there. They're pirates. If they turn out to be untrustworthy.
Nova, because one, if they discuss things, Nova be like, oh, they're probably wanting that because of that.
Ah, so you're kind of banking on Nova's knowledge of Trinita Fade, which is a large part of right now a large part of the pirates' activity. There's a lot of activity going on scavenging Trinita Fade, which as you may remember, is where the Trin got killed. A lot of them. It's their home planet.
Not anymore. It's not.
Not anymore. It's not. So any one of those 3 options would give you the specialist bonus.
It sounds like Eclipse might too.
Yeah, any one of the other Trin would also.
It's almost as if we need a smart person to go with Nova if we were to do this. Nova would be there to pick up like the clues of what they're after, but then we need a smart person to actually translate it.
Nova was only 8 years old at the time that all of 8 or 13. She was still very very young when the Skies Argon event occurred and killed what did I say? A percent, 99% of
people.
90% of her people. Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. I think if I remember the numbers right, they were 8 billion strong on Trinita Fade, and now there's around 11 million on Trinita Shade. So a factor of 1,000. That's also something that may play into any kind of negotiations when you involve a Trin. They really don't like humans.
Some more than others.
I'm concerned that if we send a Trin, then they're going to be angry, and the fact that Raza essentially endorses the plundering of their homeland is not going to be favorable to our outcome here.
Well, I mean, hypothetically, if you're having a meeting, it might not be about plunder, because who has meetings about plunder? Or it's about like a big heist, in which case, I don't know. That's harder to predict.
Well, even if it's just trying to hammer out the order of things, because the info we've gotten suggests that Ren is kind of assembling an alliance of the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
So I see this as, for lack, in terms that Oogie would use, he would think that this is basically the assembly of a trade union.
Right, trade.
That's why I wanted Oogie to go.
Mm.
So if this is the formation of a trade union, this is probably going to be about renegotiating the terms of salvage between the pirates.
Okay.
And Raza.
I mean, in that case,
no, they're unionizing.
Yeah, that's what I think is happening
That's
here.
exactly what you said. I guess that is what a trade union would be, huh?
Yep.
And as a result of this, yeah, I think they're going to be trying to challenge the terms and conditions that Raza has placed on them, using the combined power of the pirates as leverage.
In which case, our position is presumably no, screw that. So sending the Trin starts to seem consistent.
Wait, are they trying the Pinkertons now? Are Union Busters?
It sounds like they're not going to be pro this union, so in a way.
They're going to be anti-union, but they won't be pro-Raza.
You do have a Trin that was trained as an assassin on Trinita Fade.
No.
And if you look at their assassin mods, they were very heavily augmented for that role.
We sent an assassin as a message to not form a union. Thank you.
You know what would be freaking brilliant? Just send Eclipse and Nova and let them negotiate for Trinity Fade.
No.
I like this. It'd be pure mayhem, but I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't see how this goes wrong.
I see all of the ways that this goes wrong, and they're all great stories.
If you want somebody who knows something about business, actually, Tally starts to sound plausible, by the way, from the conversation she and Izzy had last time. Just for the record. Notably about doing business in very dangerous places.
Oh, and an entrepreneur, yeah.
Yeah, just to make the point.
Take Scotty off of there. I don't want to take Scotty anymore.
Okay.
Given the angles that we're approaching here, Scotty seems less and less like the ideal person.
Well, Scotty'd be good to have those if there was some sort of betrayal or
Right. What if there are problems? Because Tally doesn't seem terribly equipped for problems of a adventure nature, except insofar as avoiding them.
So
he seems good at that.
Along those lines, I've got a question. Well, he's also ineligible for a promotion. Nova is a specialized person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she. I don't know if this is your question, but just to make it clear, she has not got any promotions ahead of her.
Right. I think we were told that the specialized people couldn't receive promotions, right?
Right. I made an exception for Riley because you guys really wanted to promote her. And given her place in her narrative, I think that's perfectly fine. But Nova right now, no, perhaps in the future. She would need more on-screen time development.
So basically, they need to join us.
And actually,
on
I think that's the way I'll frame it for all the U's, is that they're not eligible for promotion through just kind of mechanical means, but if they get some screen time that suggests where they might, have developed, just like you did with Riley, then yeah, that would probably be fine. Sorry, that was totally a tangent. What was your question?
No, that was approximately it. I guess I
Okay.
just wanted to know what makes her specialized and not a guard.
Honestly, what makes her specialized is that she really isn't good at anything.
Yeah, she was not explicitly hired.
Yeah.
She was basically thrown onto the Raza as part of a deal, and then she just basically didn't even care about the deal, and we never made good on the deal. For the most part, right?
So that's pretty
Like
much
she
it.
was very bitter and unhappy at home, so they figured I guess she was just as good being bitter and unhappy away from home.
I'll add a little bit more to that history because I think that with your guys' escalating privileges, command crew would have given you more insight in her. When the original crew of the Raza touched down on Trinita Shade, they encountered a few Trin who really just wanted one of their own, or multiple of their own, but one was agreed upon, to leave the planet, and their role was going to be just information gathering so that they could report back eventually and give the Trin better information with which they could try and escape their essential captivity on that planet.
Right, since they've largely got an information blackout on what's going on in the sector, right?
Very much an information blackout, yeah.
I guess much less so now with the Raza's latest dealings.
Yeah, with the Raza has at the end of the campaign, the Raza was instrumental in helping more of the Trin escape. In working with the Trin, there's some ongoing stuff where the Raza is helping to supply them, and now knows that there's some perimeter ships in the area that are monitoring the planet. But Nova's part in all of this is that a different Trin was going to be put on the Raza with you, and arguments were made that Trin was just too valuable. They're too knowledgeable, too skilled, and too good on the planet. And Nova, being the self-deprecating person that she is, and that's using that word very lightly, she's kind of self-loathing. Basically said she's useless on this planet and propositioned herself to go. She's useless, so none of the Trin disagreed.
Which is really sad.
Her only real
nobody-
quality that you guys have discovered is she's really freaking tough. And she also is more skilled than your average human just for being Trin in the first place and having gone through a lot more hardship than most humans do in multiple lifetimes.
So, okay. So we're basically picking one NPC to be in charge of this and one NPC to help them. We can't send two NPCs, hedge our bets, to help them?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you can,
strictly.
but they're not going to have any mechanical benefit.
And they're just put at risk if the mission fails.
Right.
So there's not really much reason to do so.
Unless you want to reduce the chance of one of the ones you're liking dying.
Yeah, we could do a
Well,
bunch
there's
of chat
that,
on
and
there.
also, there might not be any mechanical effect, but I would assume there would be a narrative one, depending on who we're talking about.
There could be. Let me help you with the mechanical. It's always going to be a D4 that is rolled if they fail. which means that if you only send one person, there's only a 25% chance of that person being selected. You send two, then there's a 50-50 chance of one of your NPCs. The mechanical reason that you would send more than two is if the two that you're sending are already maxed out and you want to use what you hope is a simple mission as a training exercise, you can send NPCs that aren't maxed out, but you have to send two extra, guaranteeing that if the mission does fail, somebody's going. All make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. Since the angle I was looking at was narrative anyway, why don't we send Tally and put her in charge and then send Minji and Nova to make a statement and also have some insurance against problems?
I like that.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Tally can do the actual negotiation and the
Yeah.
other two can be tough.
All right. Well, we'll put Nova in there as the specialist, the second. Her various areas of expertise, even though she's useless, will allow her to act as level 2 support, so she'll give the +2.
Okay.
For the narrative reasons, you've got Minji, and let's put one more NPC in there just to keep in line with my 2 added NPC requirements.
Well, so now do we want to find a smart person who we think is worth sending to this? I mean, Tally doesn't appear to be dumb, don't get me wrong, but I feel like you could, go higher up the IQ score.
Yeah, Christina over here is an actual teacher.
So a pirate meeting, though?
Well, okay, so here's the question. Is Axel dumb?
Axel is not dumb,
The pirates are going to love a gambler.
and he is very good at gambling.
Oh, yeah.
If they act anything like pirates are supposed to.
Yeah.
Right.
It better be stereotypical. Thank you very much.
That's right. Can't have any of these democratic, egalitarian pirates I keep hearing about.
Then again, they are unionizing.
Pillage and plunder and rifle and loot, guys. If unionizing really just means forming a fleet to take over Jamaica, in pirate terms.
This is what everybody hates about academics. Science ruined dinosaurs and history ruined pirates.
Pirates are still pretty fucking wild, honestly, even if you look at the facts of the matter. That was a real scary thing. Period. All periods of pirates are real scary. If you start looking at the history of them.
All
Okay,
right.
so now we have the very important decision. Who are we going to send on Daddy Warbucks?
Well, who don't you
We
like?
send Harry. Harry and Zoe have already had scenes together, so it makes sense.
I like it.
That actually does make sense.
Are we also sending? Oh, was it Armstrong she likes? So that way she might be more amicable.
Oh, Harry and Armstrong together as a team again? That'd be kind of funny.
Except,
The dynamic duo.
but then we have no one to promote unless we go and do another 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like.
Armstrong's a C1.
Oh, really?
No, they. Thank you. I think I may have just missed their promotion because I'm pretty sure you guys wanted to promote them.
Yeah, we couldn't promote Harry, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So Armstrong was the only one that could have gotten promoted.
Yes,
that one.
yeah. I just didn't write it down. Let me make a quick note of that. Yeah, Armstrong promoted with that last mission turn.
How old is Zoe?
I think
Like
she's
18 now?
17 still?
We could
Oh.
send Reed and Riley with her.
I thought Zoe turned 18 during the course of the last campaign.
I want to say that's...
She might
yeah.
have. Let's see. Born on August 14, 3233. So, yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are
right,
past
okay.
September in 3251. She's 18.
Because we said Reed's 17 and Riley's 16?
Yes. Yeah.
How old is Armstrong?
I think mid-20s, right?
Armstrong.
Ageless and immortal.
Oh, actually, I think I put it right on their sheet in a hidden place for me to see. They're 25 at the well, they're listed as 25 at the start of the campaign, which is September of 3250. So, they should be 26 now.
That's what I said, mid-20s.
Yep.
I knew I was smart.
Sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of people Zoe likes. I was just thinking about sending some other young women with her to.
Sure. Do you have a secondary objective besides keep Zoe happy on this mission?
Keep Zoe happy.
I mean,
Right.
the whole
That's
thing
that's
here.
actually your primary objective, is my point. So what else you want done?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I will remind you
Ultimately-
that Zoe is not actually part of the mission parameter.
And also, keeping Zoe happy would probably be not going on this mission at all. So.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good reason, though, to send as many people to make Zoe happy as possible.
Yeah,
Despite.
ultimately, this is about appeasing Cassian LaRue.
Yes.
Well, what do you know about him? Who does he like? Some people
Zoe.
he'll like. Okay, but beyond that, like, I get it. This mission is about Zoe, but putting that aside, no.
That's a good
I
question.
don't think
What side
he's
of the
met
field
anyone
did-
else on the crew.
Yeah, he did. We all met. I think we all met.
With
Did
Cassian,
we? Did
yeah.
all of us meet Cassian?
Yeah, there was
At
the
least most of
initial
us.
meeting in which Android leveled a gun on him, and then there was a later mission.
Okay, so we
meeting.
don't send Android. Got it.
Android. I don't know. We do send Android.
I don't
And
think
one of
we
them
can. I'm pretty
squids
sure.
you guys were studying on.
Then again, we were talking about them taking DeRaza anyways, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I don't know if we can actually assign Android anyways.
No, we can't.
I mean,
Yeah.
I trust Armstrong as much as anyone to look out for Raza's financial interests in terms of having discussions with anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, LaRue is presumably going to be the cagiest negotiator in the entire sector, so or among them.
Truth.
Mhm.
At the same time, I think that, well, Armstrong is pretty on top of, like, following orders, so I think Armstrong might be too easily pushed around.
Yeah.
If that was the main there.
Let's see here. Who's currently in our crew who might? Yeah, see, I can't see anybody in our crew except for Elena having a positive impact on that situation, and Elena's kind of tied to the marmoset.
I am going to remind, because I think there's a couple players here who don't know, and it's been a long time for the other players. There was also history behind between Harry and Cassian. Good history.
Good history? Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, Harry's obviously who you want to put in charge of this one. And then the question is who else is going, that's all. I think you were already there, but
I hadn't caught on to that, otherwise I would have just kept my mouth shut. So Harry's already we're already looking at Harry as mission lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and if we're looking for someone to promote, we don't have to do the send for. Armstrong does not have to be the other person.
okay,
I think
so
it'd be a good person, but if we want somebody to promote, it has to be somebody else.
all right. So you're trying to get Cassian LaRue's money
So you're
as kind of a secondary function here?
His support in general.
yes.
So money. Okay. Where did he get his money?
I mean, he's also got, like, political support.
Cassian LaRue is the LaRue family is the one of the wealthiest on March, in the March system, on Lamiera, which is the biggest trade hub of the sector. LaRue himself has solidified his position as a very powerful and very wealthy individual by securing contracts with the Exchange of Light, alliances and agreements with the Exchange of Light, and also by innovating in a virtual market space.
What are his politics?
Well, can you be more specific in what you're looking for?
There are at least 2 or 3 NPCs who are very clearly social activists sitting around here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's either a really good idea if his politics are liberal, or a really terrible idea if his politics are typical of a rich guy.
So I can answer that better now.
Yeah.
The cities on Lamiera are ostensibly well managed. That's obviously not perfectly true, but there's a council that tries to promote that. It's part of a tourism thing, and the Raza Crew's experiences in House LaRue, which is the name of the city to confuse everything, were generally positive. There's there's no graffiti, very little trash, little destitution. It's generally a well-handled city with good social support.
Okay. You said it's on Lamy, or in the same system as Lamiera?
Well, it's on Lamiera. Lamiera is the planet in
Okay.
the system March. Yeah.
So unless there's a reason why not, Christina seems like the safest choice. Since, she's from there. I'm not seeing any strong pointers one way or the other.
Did we have someone that we're already guaranteed sending?
Only Harry.
Just Harry. Okay.
I mean, logically, if you're trying to impress the guy, somebody like Trisha Roberts, or if you're trying to impress the guy with virtue, somebody like Trisha Roberts, or maybe who else was the one? Lisa would make sense, but that's if you're trying to work that angle. You don't have a lot of characters on this crew for some. Oh, or what's her name? Asta, the social activist one. You don't have a lot of characters who make sense to have interact with rich people in the crew for some strange reason.
I can't imagine why that is.
Yeah.
Nah.
Christina seems like a safe choice, if nothing else.
At some point, we should make a concerted effort to hire more psychics.
So just one thing to note, we were talking about what kind of support LaRue would provide, and Dexter mentioned the exchange of light as something he has influence over. Part of the reason we want to go that angle is because right now, because of this lawsuit, Raza is going to be kept out of financial affairs in the sector.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not just that we want his money, we want Raza to be a going interest.
Right. Unfortunately, we already put Tally in charge of Eagle and Ren, and she's the only one even remotely in that space, as far as I can see. Although I guess Simon has a sort of entrepreneurial background.
He does. Mm-hmm. He would be valid for a +1.
I mean, it's just supporting Harry, who we already have good. I think it's really already a good choice. So
Right, you're expecting Harry to handle this. The only question is who else is going along.
Yeah.
And you just want somebody who's not going to be an embarrassment.
Exactly.
Harry does need a little bit more support on the economic side of things, considering that Kos is almost entirely barter-based. Now, he had more interaction with actual economics being the mayor, but it's still not something that he's terribly familiar with, so he'll need financial knowledge support also.
All right, so unless you want to let him borrow Saul, I think you have to send Simon. Unless I'm missing something. Given that I'm working off of mouse over blurbs, it's very possible.
Yeah, well, I don't think we really delved into the economic expertise of most of the characters in the last campaign.
No, but
No.
yeah, definitely.
Most of it.
Like what we've got says Simon and Saul at least know something about money. So
Yeah.
again, you're not going to make a problem.
And all the characters that I put over there as your possibles will give the +1. Saul being a level 2 would give a +2.
Well, we want
Let's
someone that
send
can.
Saul then.
Well, we also still want someone that can be promoted too, right?
Then it sounds like you're sending Simon.
That
Yeah,
sounds like
but-
Simon.
But here's the thing. Do we just take this as an opportunity to try and pass the actual mission? Or are you just trying to
It
minimize...
is a hard roll. That's true.
Yes.
but
Or are you just trying to maximize the chance of upgrading someone, I'll say?
Well, you always want at least one rookie in your XCOM teams.
Yeah.
Mostly for the comedy value, not so much for the development value. But
Unless you're trying to succeed a mission, in which case you want the full squad.
I mean, usually you bring the rookie along as like whatever is not super important to have on that mission.
But it is important to have the slash in there. Okay. Well, you have
I vote you send Simon because apparently you need Saul on this ship. Just that simple. But
Any objections?
I'd prefer Saul.
Ditto on that. But
I'd rather the mission succeed and then we actually get the reward rather than...
especially
Potentially
because if
fail
we
it.
don't succeed, we risk losing Harry.
That's true.
Okay.
And also imagine if something went wrong with Zoe as well. So I presume that might also come into...
Yeah,
the
Zoe might
picture.
want the best.
I'm putting Saul up there. And I'm not hearing any hard objections to that.
It's fine by me. It's fine.
All
I'm
right.
happy.
And you do not want to include 2 more for the promotion possibilities?
We could just give Zoe emotional support.
and ablative armor for the 2 level 2 characters.
Yeah.
I mean, send some red shirts in. Reduce the chances.
Well, you could still send Simon. It's not like he's going to hurt anything from the sound of things, and he doesn't appear to be a beloved NPC.
So who's going to be the? Wait, okay, so we need to decide who Zoe's emotional support will be.
You're gonna end up sending 4 characters that you really don't want to lose.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then failing.
I mean, that just makes it more dramatic, right?
Yep, I suppose so.
You need emotional support for Zoe? Okay. I don't know. Who's nice?
Well, Zoe and Scotty have always got along. You really want to stack them over there?
Yeah, sure.
That would be another level 2.
And then just send Simon to take a bullet if something happens.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't really do some of the others better, but. And then Pratt.
That would be the opposite of emotional support.
What?
Alright, I've got, it's hard to see because of the names, but I've got Scotty and Simon over there also.
Yeah,
Okey
let's load
dokies.
them up.
Okay.
Let's set things up for a true tragedy.
Now, I do want to remind
So
you
we're
that,
sending the 3 S's.
it's,
Saul, Simon, Scotty.
no
Yeah,
matter how many
Team S.
people you send, it is still a D4 if the mission fails.
Yeah.
So it's not increasing, or it's not reducing the chances of Harry and Saul getting axed. It is the chances are exactly the same.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
well.
can't.
We still choose
the-
to believe. We choose to believe it's ablative, right, y'all? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Just choose. Just believe.
Okay,
Just
okay.
believe.
The
Yeah, have
writer in me is
confidence.
looking at this, and I'm a little bit squicked out by the fact that we are sending 4 men, 2 of whom are like middle-aged dudes.
I mean, they're really there to talk to her
10-year-old
dad.
girl going on vacation.
They're really there to talk to her dad, and that's not objectifying in the slightest.
If it does re-objectify and make it worse, Zoe had a crush on Harry.
Well, that's
And-
just good narrative.
And Harry handled it very maturely.
By walking away.
Uh-huh. By very politely declining. Like, nothing
so we're
overt was offered, but he
so
made
we're
his
sending
position
a
clear.
surrogate father figure. Okay, all right.
To escort her to her real dad, who's then going to take her prisoner on vacation. This actually sounds like a Chevy Chase movie to me, but you know.
I'm not seeing anything wrong here.
Oh god, I'm now picturing Chevy Chase as Cassian LaRue.
Oh no.
Does it?
No,
For me,
let me
with what I
dispel
know.
that. Let me dispel that.
No, it's definitely like the Pierce Hawthorne incarnation of Chevy Chase too. It's real bad.
Oh no.
I mean, it could be worse. He could be Rodney Dangerfield.
This is
Sure.
Cassian.
Oh, there's a picture. Oh, okay. Hold on. Now I have
Yes.
to walk back into the room. I'm enjoying my Bluetooth today. Where is it?
I
where's
put
the
it up
picture?
there in the here. Let me just make it a little bigger here.
Cassian LaRue, as played by Seth Green.
We can't see it, whatever you
I don't-
He's got a gold border up in Ship Crew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Bam.
Starring Seth Green
There we go.
And Seth Green's enormous forehead.
Cassian LaRue is played by a younger Christopher Eccleston with hair dye.
Oh my gosh,
it
all
looks
the
like
names
you-
bleed through.
It looks like you've used the guy from Dexter with fucking cutie pie.
Oh no.
All
Well,
right, so,
what I actually
yeah,
did
I'm
was
still mentally picturing him as Chevy Chase, but okay, if you say so.
what I actually did is put Zoe into the art breeder, which is where I got Zoe from, and made a child of Zoe that was male.
So this is Zoe's male child, but it's actually Zoe's father.
Yes.
That's Cassian Jr.
You've created a time paradox.
or Lil Cass, as he's known.
Future.
Little Cass. Yeah, he'll love being called that.
Oh yeah, go ahead and add that in the mission instructions. He loves being called Lil Cass.
That's his street name.
Zoe
Before the
spends
business
the
world.
entire trip there just convincing the mission crew of that truth.
And
Okay,
she
wow.
would.
I
Unfortunately,
know.
I'm pretty sure Harry would not go along with that. So I don't know.
No, Harry does know Cassian from when Zoe was a
before
baby.
times.
Yeah. I think maybe even before Zoe was born.
Yeah, I think it was before and
Mhm.
during. Not that I remember the timeline that well.
No, I don't either.
Well, I'm glad we decided that, though.
All right, we've got one more decision to make, or a set of crew decisions, and I want to offer a break between NPCs and more NPCs. With are there any other scenes that you guys want to get out on this intermission? This is our last intermission session. I know that there's one more from Tulare. Does anybody else have anything else that they want you characters to get up to?
Just
And
as his
Um,
package arriving.
Okay. Yes, we can do that. Perfect. Cold Dark Silence. So, to give you a better idea of timing, I'm going to say that your characters are at Dry Sun for about 3 weeks. At 2 weeks, the crew going to March have already left. And
Max is trying to erase the footage.
okay. Does he want...
Is also eventually going to be willing to get in the chair by that time, but it may not be any fun for Marcus anymore by then.
Now let's go ahead and combine those two. How is Marcus trying to erase the footage? Is he trying to do this on his own, or is he trying to get someone who knows computers and may not just immediately go report that to Amaya?
No. Max has a stupid idea.
Okay.
So Marcus is thinking, I wonder if these, entities can mess with computers to mess with the data. And that's the idea he has in his mind right now.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing bricks my system, you're not making it to the next mission.
Unfortunately, that's the idea he has.
I'll fire up the stat roller, I guess.
Okay. How does he? So obviously he's asking for Riley's help.
Yes. Just Riley.
Well, before we get to that, do you want him to have caught Riley when she's not with anybody else, or do you want to leave that to GM's discretion?
He wants to preferably get her while she's alone, but he'll take whatever opportunities available.
All right. I hear random there. So on a we'll give you the better odds. So on a 3 through 6, he knows or not knows, but catches her when she's not hanging out with somebody. Okay. All right. So yeah, Riley does agree to come over.
So, how are things?
Okay. Still haven't gotten into the arcade, but it's okay.
Really? Oh.
Can I sit in the chair again?
If you and your friend can do a favor for me.
Okay.
So, I was wearing those goggles for a bit, messing around with them.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize
Actually, no, I don't remember that.
Oh, well, basically, I was wearing some goggles, and apparently they recorded some footage.
Okay.
Now, preferably, I'd like that footage to not be available.
By the way, I'm gonna pause you for a second here. Izya, wherever he was, whatever he was doing, was nearby enough to notice that Riley has gone into Marcus's room.
So Izzy has been trying to become more acquainted with, everybody else lately.
Okay.
But he still spends a lot of time sitting around and brooding.
Well,
probably that's what he's doing when she comes by.
Sure, that common central area is very good for brooding. It's got the perfect atmosphere for it.
Yep, a lot of brooding going on.
Yeah. So he
looks up and sees Riley come in to talk to Marcus. And
do you think Izya has heard or caught on that Riley is one of kind of special around here, that she's possessed by one of these entities?
He's definitely caught on, but he doesn't know why he should care yet.
Okay.
Since he still hasn't seen his Hello Self video.
Okay. Yeah. It's fair.
As far as he's concerned, that's interesting, but not necessarily that important.
Yeah. So you can bring Izya into the scene at any point you feel is entertaining.
Marcus.
Oh. Max is going to look around a bit confused.
Your chair is available, I hear.
Oh.
I called it first.
Yeah, there's a queue for it now.
That's fine.
I mean, you missed out on the opportunity. I mean, you could have been one of the first to.
Honestly, it's an interesting fact, but you seemed far too excited before, and now you just don't seem as excited, which makes me much more interested in the chair.
Riley runs over and jumps into the chair.
I see this young lady has gotten here first. I would hate to disrupt that whole process. It sounded like there was some kind of exchange being negotiated.
Yeah, what do you
How
need
good
me
are
to
I'm
you?
do?
not trying to convince you to do anything you should know better than, young lady.
How good are you with computers?
Some,
Like,
not very.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Well, you know how like was wearing those goggles.
Yes, I do. What about it?
Yeah, apparently they were recording.
Did you not read the disclaimer?
I didn't know there was one, and I couldn't read it if there was one, most likely.
You can't read?
The first
Oh,
one's
of course I can
a
read.
bad choice. That second one, I'm sorry.
Christina's teaching me to read too. She could probably help you.
I can read some stuff, but some of the stuff is just like, I don't know, gibberish.
Yeah, that's what it means when you can't read.
Not necessarily. Was there a language barrier? Because, boy, that agreement made no sense in what they speak where I come from.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
Well, but I could read it,
Oh, okay.
so I have to ask.
Well, basically, there's footage that I don't want to be available.
I'm shocked.
Doesn't sound shocked.
I know.
Riley looks between the two of them.
For someone who's shocked, you sound very not shocked.
Should I be here for this?
I suppose.
I wanted your help to try and get rid of it.
I mean, I'm aware that with some reason people consider me to be somewhat of a wet blanket, but what kind of footage are we talking about? And here, because he can, is you will establish telepathic contact with Marcus again, so that he can tell me without telling Riley.
Drugs.
Doing them, selling them, manufacturing them.
It's just the word drugs.
Uh,
He's purposely not trying to picture anything in his mind, he's just thinking the word drugs over and over.
Uh-huh.
Izya has transmit thought, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
has used it on Marcus before.
That's right, right.
If anything, is you may be about to be able to establish contact with Marcus for free, God help us all. In not too much longer.
That is horrifying.
So, and here we're still, of course, in the world of the mind. Yes, drugs, I understand. You can go into detail if you want.
No.
So you're, to be clear, you're asking for this young lady's help erasing data of you doing something illicit in exchange.
Sure.
It would have been simpler to come to me.
You're here now.
I suppose that's true. So what will you be enjoying on the simulator there, young lady?
Before he's had a chance to ask that, in the silence that follows, that consumes this conversation, Riley has kind of cast an eye between the two of you and then raised one eyebrow in her very best impression of Harry, who is based on The Rock. Riley is doing The Rock eyebrow as well as she can. It's not great, but it's there.
Yes.
You both got real quiet.
Oh, you haven't heard.
No, that's the whole point of what you do, right?
In a sense. I can read minds.
He's bad at it.
Oh.
I've forgotten how to do most of it. It's not quite the same thing. I used to be better at it.
Huh. Well, I guess that's not that weird.
From what I hear, you can do some fairly amazing things yourself.
True, can.
the distinction's important to you, I take it?
Well, it's always Crew doing the thing.
Or could it do them without you?
I carry him around.
Right. And if he were just free floating somewhere, would he still be able to do all these amazing things?
He
From what I
dead.
understand, he needs he needs someone to hang out with to get it done, which means you're doing it too.
I guess so.
That's true.
Okay, so what do you need me to do? Us. What do you need us to do?
Oh,
Well, trying to erase some footage. Embarrassing footage.
Yeah, go ahead and just tell the teenage girl. You need to just.
Uh,
What
okay.
could go wrong?
Where is the footage?
it's wherever Amaya is storing the data from those glasses she's been testing.
Yeah.
Do you have the glasses?
Yes, you have the glasses. We've all tried the glasses. Have you not been allowed to try the glasses?
Yeah, I'm allowed. I just haven't.
Because other things to do, I suppose.
Yeah, school and
I wasn't very enthusiastic myself. I understand.
do you have them here?
Have what here?
The glasses that have this
Oh, I
stuff.
give them back.
Oh. If you get the glasses, we could. Crew thinks he can help.
Help how?
Well, he'll destroy them.
Oh, no. I don't want that.
Very much the wrong answer here.
Yes. Like, could you, like, I don't know. How can I do this? Max just kind of thinks for a little bit.
Our kids these days all hackers.
No, they're all script kiddies.
And she didn't grow up like that. She was not the teenager that was programming Dad's VCR. Because Dad didn't have a VCR.
But what do you want done here, Marcus? Do you want her to get to the computer and delete the data?
I was hoping a friend might be able to do that. But I'm not sure how now.
Computers aren't people.
Yeah, but he can push buttons, right?
So
And then telepathically, you realize this is not a very good plan.
Oh, absolutely. It was my last choice.
You had others?
Nope.
It was his last choice.
I accept
That's
that,
what
you,
was troubling
that,
at first.
that right. I accept that only one choice does meet the technical definition of last, but it seems to me you could have considered some other possibilities.
Admitted embarrassment.
Into the silence of your conversation, Riley says, Crew's not very good at pushing buttons. He's
Okay.
still working on that whole pushing gently
Well,
thing.
What is he good at?
Throwing things. He can fly. We can fly.
That must be nice.
Shields.
Riley can fly?
Riley can fly. He can possess other people, but we only do that for training.
Yes.
'Cause-
Don't. Let's not talk about that. That seems not called for here.
Okay.
Yes, imagine someone like going into your head and messing with things.
Oh no, that'd be like disastrous. Oof.
Well, no, he can't possess you guys.
Oh, I know that.
You're vacant.
I've heard. I'd just as soon
Nothing
not
in
find
my
out
head.
they're mistaken.
What was that? That he said? Just as soon find out what?
I'd just as soon not find out that they're mistaken.
Okay. So do I
Well,
still get to go on the
Marcus-
chair?
Oh yeah, anytime.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, we'll
I wasn't
compare
asking for
notes.
your
We'll let you
permission.
know if you can help.
Okay. Load up that forest place with all the trees and the birds. I like the birds.
Okie dokies. Coming right up.
All right. Riley is momentarily occupied with the simulation. She giggles a little bit at as she looks over at Izya. Apparently, there is a monkey on top of Izya's head in her field of view.
Izzy is much too dignified to acknowledge an imaginary monkey. You need a better plan.
You think I had a plan? Thanks for the compliment. I just went for the first and last idea I had and thought, yeah.
I'm not really sure how to deal with a self-aware incompetent, so bear with me. How much of this footage is there?
There's only like a 10-second bit I want deleting.
Have you considered just asking her to delete it?
No, because then she'll watch it.
I could be wrong. Amaya impresses me as a very busy person. Do you
Yeah,
really think she's
imagine-
watched every minute of all of this real-time footage that we've all taken with these many pairs of glasses these last several weeks?
Yes.
And do you
Which
think
case
that
it'd be too
because...
late. But she's not brought it up yet, so no. Or
Right.
she's just waiting for the right time, so maybe.
Well, then the easiest way to find out if she's planning to blackmail you with footage of your recreational excesses is to ask.
Sure.
Nice
Is
phrase.
there a reason you would rather not?
Yes.
Is it a good reason? Or are you
No.
just chicken?
Oh, not a chicken. Just prefer to not bring it up.
I'm confused.
Does Riley still have the glasses on?
She does,
doesn't-
and she is right now trying to poorly imitate the sound that a chicken makes, as if it were a toucan mimicking a chicken.
So, for these glasses, can she or can she not see in the area around her?
She can, and the AI, or not the AI, but the various, yeah, it is AI. The AI enhancement of the VR glasses is sufficient enough to pick up on keywords. Oh wait, has that all been telepathic? That was all
That was
telepathic.
the
No.
original intent,
No.
but I didn't say so. Except
No.
possibly for calling Marcus chicken.
Marcus
might have
would
done
have been
that out
speaking
loud.
aloud.
Okay, yes, if
Yeah,
chicken was
yeah.
spoken out loud, then the glasses have picked up on that, and
There's a chicken now.
apparently there's a toucan in Riley's AR that is making chicken noises, and she is mimicking them, and again giggling at now giggling over at Marcus.
Hmm.
The toucan's calling you a chicken too.
What's a toucan?
Oh, it's such a beautiful bird. Here, you have to see this too. And she'll
All
start
right.
dislodging the headwear and scoot herself out of the seat, hold it up a little bit because she's not she's not tall for a 16-year-old. She's a little bit undersized. I imagine Izya is a tall person for some reason.
He was tall and still kind of is, but boy, he looks like a skeleton now.
Yeah, so she's holding it up to him.
Sure, he'll go ahead and try on the thing and try to figure out what. So what am I looking for, young lady?
So as long as he hasn't pressed any buttons or deactivated, it should still run the same scenario that she was running. And as he puts it on, you can start to hear the toucan as it sounds like a chicken, and you can see this toucan just kind of screaming chicken sounds at Marcus.
I think this bird has your number, Marcus.
Hmm. I don't know
That
if
is a
this
very
is more
interesting word. You're
embarrassing.
right. Would you like me to talk to her? Then you will be spared the trouble.
Look. Riley, just look away for a second, okay?
He's just going to relinquish the seat to Riley.
Okay. Riley takes the seat back, and starts she says something about, okay, this seat is now a carve, and kind of jerks a little bit as if the seat starts moving in this little AR thing. And apparently now she's driving through this jungle from her seat.
As one does.
Yeah, clearly.
Azir looks at Marcus expectantly.
Marcus gestures Izzy to come over to a corner.
He
Marcus
does.
goes into his locker
Mm-hmm.
and shows him some drugs at the bottom. Some psycho. Oh, psych, sorry.
Psycho would be a
Yes.
different drug.
No, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I don't want to be shown. And Max is going to close it.
So move it.
No, I need it.
And there's no other place you could be storing it?
Yeah.
Why? Is your
Doesn't like
point
to have it to
Marcus's
hand.
room? Okay. Well, Marcus, I don't know if you spent much time in space. I know I did. Space is very boring. Except in very brief intervals when it becomes extremely exciting, which you probably have experienced. So I understand the need for, and he gestures at the chair and vaguely at the drugs more or less simultaneously. But if you're past the point of... He just makes a weird, vague gesture. Then your only option is to be upfront, because it's the longer this goes on, the more trouble it will be.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I've not had to do it yet.
Now I'm confused.
I don't want them to know I've got this crutch.
Right. So, consider, please. We are about to go to what is widely believed to be a quarantined, semi-abandoned world. Would you rather they find out there or now? Because from what I understand, sooner or later it's coming.
Yeah, but that's like Future Me's problem.
Again,
Which
I'm
is what I'm
having a
trying to do
very
with it
hard
now.
time dealing with self-aware incompetence. You're simply letting this problem happen without taking any charge of it whatsoever. You understand that?
Well, I was hoping it wouldn't become a problem, though.
Yes, the easiest way to avoid that is to treat it as if it weren't one. Talk to Amaya. It's going to create many fewer problems, including this one, down the line.
I'll just leave it. It'll be an issue in the future. I'm just hoping she might have not watched it.
Why don't both of you give me a wisdom notice check?
Okay.
Riley's watching it right now.
What does it do? Oh, okay. I click on the detached sheet and it pops it up in here anyway. That's annoying. I have two monitors again. I was enjoying it.
Oh. Okay. So I think at this point Marcus would notice that Riley has taken off the headgear, and is just kind of quietly watching them too. Not
Marcus
sure how
kinda
long she's been
shrugs.
watching.
He just kind of shrugs.
Izzy apparently has not, but he's got nothing else to say at the moment.
You can
Well.
talk to Oogie. He's pretty smart.
It's fine.
Izzy appears briefly startled by that word as applied to Oogie, but he puts it away real quick. Okay, and I suppose you expect him to have a better idea?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I
But it's
don't
not my choice.
really know what all you're talking about, but it sounds like you have a problem, and like Oogie always seems to know how to solve things.
Decisive. Yes, he is that.
Oh, it's okay. What'll be, what'll be. Well, why is everyone staring at me? I don't like this. You two enjoy the chair. I'm gonna go for a walk.
But you have a problem too, though, and we want to help you.
An interesting thing about that, young lady, is that one has to be willing to be helped.
Isn't he willing if he asked for our help? I mean, you didn't call me in here just to sit in the chair. You wanted me to do something.
Well, yes. In one sense, certainly willing. And in the sense that he should be willing, not. I think I'll go find something to eat. And Izzy does.
Riley kind of shrugs and scoots herself out of the chair again. Well, I hope you figure out what you want, Marcus.
Me too.
She's gonna kind of sidle herself out of the room too, leaving Marcus with his chair and the gear. Oh, sorry, the gear is hers. She takes it.
Yes.
Yeah, Izzy then proceeds to go find something to eat and then afterward look for Amaya.
Okay. Before we do that, I know that there's one other scene that Tulare wants.
Something with Archibald.
With Archibald.
Something with Archibald. So let's do that. We might make this a full session after all. I was kind of expecting it to end early. But
Scandalous.
right? But yeah, let's go ahead and hear out what Oogie has to say to Archibald.
So
No.
where would Oogie find Archibald?
Probably spending a lot of time fiddling around with the new laser sniper rifle, the Lance rifle.
It's like maybe
By the way, Dexter, was the facilities that we proposed, or those have been somewhat built in the meantime, or no?
Well, there was already a basic training facility and included with that a target range.
Okay. So yeah, there and just like fiddling around with it, especially after having it gotten it customized. Got to get used to it.
so. Oogie waits until Archibald has fired off, a battery's worth and is reloading.
So one shot.
Is that all?
He's like,
Is that what it is?
it is. And Archibald's like, how in the hell he fit a whole battery in a single shot? I don't know. Now I know why they don't sell these things normally.
Oogie's just kind of leaning there against the back wall, and when Archibald looks up from his carefully lined up shot, I mean, it could have taken 10 minutes for him to make that one shot, sniper rifle and all.
Probably not. I mean, he's got +2 in shoot, and he's probably trying to see how fast he can actually shoot. Honestly,
Fair enough.
But of course, that's gonna be kind of slow with the reload and all that.
So in any case, Oogie,
so probably after he does like 3 shots.
Oogie waves for Archibald's attention.
Oh, hey there, Oogie. What are you up to?
Well, I was hoping I could ask you a favor, Archibald. And he's got a comp pad in his hand. He goes, "You're real good at finding folks, right?"
Yeah. Oh, I guess I used to be and still am. Yeah.
Well, I got somebody I need found.
Here on Camiego?
Yeah, I think so. And Oogie cues up a segment from his Dear Self video. And it goes, if you get the chance, use some of that freedom to fix things around here. Give them bullies a bloody nose and do right by your people, especially Park. I wish I weren't leaving them behind, but they wouldn't be able to keep up. And he presses stop. The fella I used to be thought this Park person was important enough to mention him, but I don't think they really understood what they was getting into. Didn't give me any details or nothing. But it feels important, you know?
So
Like
you don't know. You ain't no idea who Park is then?
No, I mean, I can guess that they was somebody important to me back on the old ranch, but that's about the only lead I have, and I'm afraid that if I go asking around, then, well, I don't suppose the old man's too happy with me right now.
The old man. Is that your you mean like yourself?
No, I mean, like, well, you know, I was a slave, right?
Sure.
I gotta suppose that I ran away, and if I try to just walk back in there and you know, like I own the place, well, they's gonna assume that they own me.
So you know where this was then?
I haven't quite gotten that far. I suppose I could find out, but I thought you might be able to help me.
Name ain't much to go on.
I mean, I didn't leave myself any records of where I come from. Just that folks wouldn't be too happy to see me. But,
You
well,
running any familiar faces you run into here in Dry Sun? Well, or you know, think they're familiar, and just start kind of going down the
Oogie.
list, trying to just dig out anything.
Oogie rubs at his chin. He goes, "Well, I do reckon that I must have done some business round about these parts. I suppose that, you know, I could put out some failures and see who thinks they know me."
Yeah, that'd be that. I reckon that's our best start there. And really, you just to be clear, you left yourself. You said a name in your Hello Self video describing what trying to give yourself a feel for who you were, and you didn't leave any indication of who Park is.
No, just that I was supposed to look after him. And actually, now that I look at my Hello Self video, I realize I mentioned the name of the. I mentioned that the old man had actually died, and his son Bagger had taken over. So,
Oh, now see, now we're talking. We got 2 names.
yeah. Sorry, I that was me reflecting out of character. I had to think about this because I hadn't gone back and reread the thing in a while.
Yeah. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
You at least have it written down.
You're coming up, Yakin.
Say what?
Said you're coming up.
I'm coming up.
What, did you already do your hello self?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh, okay.
Didn't
I thought I only had
I mean, it was kind of. Maybe I just thought about it really hard.
I'll check my list.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought I'd done something. But again, I may have just been prepared to do it one time, and then and then it never came up.
Yeah. No, continue.
Anyways, so yeah, I mean, yeah, just like running out of lists is like. So does Zoogie bring up the part with like Bagger?
Yeah, it was. I suppose that the place may not be owned by a fella named.
Yeah.
It's real
Two
confusing.
names.
You know, I don't remember what I'm supposed to know and what I ain't. Just what I left myself here in this video, which ain't much.
Yeah, I mean, got someone real important to you, and all you put is their name. Okay, come on, man.
Well, the dumbass I used to be must have thought, oh, this is important enough he'll remember. Doesn't know what getting your memory erased means.
Well, let's I reckon ask around town and see if we can't figure out who Bagger is and maybe who Park is. Now, do we know if Park is a boy or girl?
Oogie rewinds again. Especially Park. I wish I weren't leaving them behind, but they wouldn't be able to keep up. No, doesn't say.
Archibald's just got a face palm. Well, maybe they don't identify as neither then. Well, hey, you ask around town and I'll see if I can't figure out I guess Park and Bagger.
Much appreciated, Archibald. I'll owe you one.
Yeah, we'll just keep it to favors between us for now.
Oogie tips his hat and says, "Good luck with the gun. Have fun." And he departs.
Scratching my head at that. It's like, still can't get over. It's like, that just seems like a real lack of foresight. Of course, now I think about Archibald probably left for himself.
I'm playing up the angle that Oogie is really upset with the fella he used to be, and he's got good reason, because he was, in fact, kind of a dumbass about this stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Dexter, would you like either of us to make a roll to kind of feed your prep mill?
Actually, I believe there's some that Archibald has some particular qualities for this. Do you want to put this back up on screen so I don't have to look them up?
Yeah. Sure. Hold on. My thing's still set to update. To edit.
Okay. Yeah. Track down the location of a subject. That is something that Archibald can do. It's not even a roll.
Huzzah! I mean, yeah, that's. I'm assuming Raza at some point has a list of like settlements or whatnot. At the very least, and hopefully who leads them.
Yeah, it's something that would probably take Archibald, depending on the information. Well, based on the information that Archibald has right now,
Which is very little.
Which is very little. if there's if Park has miraculously passed through dry sun in anywhere in the recent month or so, then that's something that Archibald could probably hunt down and locate with a few hours of work. If it turns out that Park is in a different town, or maybe even still back at Ugi's hometown, it would probably take some more time to track all that down. But you've got some time here. We're looking at the scale of 3 weeks. Archibald wouldn't necessarily have to spend the entire time doing that. It's something that he could, put out feelers and find and track down. Let's see, did I write that it only takes an hour there? Or did I just say it takes time? Yeah, I think I. Oh, it takes no more than an hour as you review what you already know and have observed. Within the context of pursuing a mission directly, I'll stick to that. But I'll say that for this, it may take him a little bit more time if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends really on the urgency that Oogie did this, but also he's only checking into it as a favor too. It's like I don't know. Really, the whole urgency is up to Oogie.
Okay.
Though I suppose it would be. I suppose there's just a lot of unknowns.
Oogie is proceeding more cautiously than urgently.
All right, so yeah, not like going on a crusade.
Right.
Put myself on a different screen here. Then yeah. Archibald can start sniffing around and looking around, and in time, trying to think if I want to have you roll anything. The amount of time doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to leave it up to you, actually. In time, Archibald finds...
I do feel like it would be a little bit more dramatic if it's shortly before we leave for our mission.
Okay, that sounds good. So then, just a few days before you were scheduled to leave for your mission, the other team going to Lamiera has already left with the Raza, and the team that is going to be negotiating with for Eagle and Ren has been going over as much information about pirates as they can, and in something in that debrief gets passed along to Archibald. It seems that someone matching the description of Park, as Archibald had put feelers out and kind of little notify me feelers, was picked up by a pirate ship as a slave.
Huh.
Like, not as like, oh, he's a slave on Camiego, more as we're going to sell him as a slave.
As like a pirate slave. Off planet?
Mm-hmm. It is one of the reasons that piracy, that this place started off as being a pirate haven, because it's pretty easy to drop down, grab a few people, and get back up with the whole lack of TL4 infrastructure. And there are places around the sector that will buy human bodies for less and or less more legal reasons. Pretty much all
Sure.
illegal because Galactic Mandate says it's illegal, but some of them say they are for beneficial purposes. Like Thorid says that they're emancipating them when they buy them, giving them a better life.
Mm-hmm. And they probably end up in some seedy alley. Yeah.
Or in some
We'll
horrible
go further.
experiment.
Yeah.
So
How long ago does the information say they were picked up?
That is going to have to be something that Marcus puts more time to, which he doesn't have right now. Not Marcus, Archibald, yeah.
Archibald. So I suppose all really would be like, because you said it was like, I guess flag that for that team to keep an eye out.
You
Oh,
could.
that so recontextualizes our mission choices.
Yes, that's why I had you choose the missions and the NPCs before letting you get to this one. Sorry.
I'm also glad I specified. I do also really like that I specified that, it's like, oh, it's more dramatic, but right before we leave on our mission, because it absolutely is.
It absolutely is.
Now, as you go to your short duration mission, knowing that you only have 4 sessions, you guys get to decide, are you going to make a side trip out to talk with the pirates? Because this is still a sandbox, you could still decide that you want to go do that.
But it takes up a session worth of time that would otherwise go towards.
I mean, you could leave instructions with that team. They haven't left yet, right?
Yeah, but they're
how
also
the rules
probably not
work.
going to. They're not going to be as probably militarily geared as our group. I wouldn't think.
They also can't be expected to care as much as Oogie cares.
Well, and that's part of the issue too. Is it's hard to say how much Oogie cares, right? Because Oogie doesn't really know who this is. Other than someone that they presumably had cared about.
Right. Well, but the other thing too is Dexter has made this explicit in the past that when NPCs complete a mission, they merely complete the mission.
Yes.
Bare bones, no bonuses. And this definitely feels like something that would be a bonus if we had gone on this mission.
Yes, which puts it squarely in your hands if you're going to do something.
Now what we can do is cause a diplomatic incident for that team before they even get to do their mission.
That seems like a bad choice. From a strictly success-oriented perspective, mind you.
So, I am going to move us.
That's such a good way to complete this session. Well played, Dexter. You glorious bastard.
Thank you. For the reading of the Hello Selves, I am going to hold that off. I don't want to do that this session because for time. But for the 3 of you, yes, it will be something that is kind of read and acted out by each of you, and it gets added to the Twitch channel as one of the Hello Self videos snipped out
As a clip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the last thing I want to do here is decide who you're taking with you on your ship.
Oh yeah. We have crew too, y'all.
Yeah, I have said in the past that, or I said recently, I should say, that you should probably only have about 6 NPCs. I've clearly been letting you have more than that. You've got 7 right now. Well, You're about to get a cruiser, which has a minimum crew of 50. You're gonna have a whole lot of. So I'm gonna raise that up to 10 named NPCs. I'd prefer if you don't take a full 10 on your small ship. What is the size of that?
Oh, I say it's 10 to 40, isn't it? Come on.
For a patrol boat? Sounds about
Oh
right.
wait, never
I
mind.
mean, we've got 7 on the small ship already. 8. We had 8.
Yeah. I think the patrol boat is 5 to 20.
Might be.
Yeah. So the only reason that I don't want that many named NPCs is just to, force the illusion of choice, and make it so that you, well, it's easier for me on the interactions. Now, you are being told, and this is also something that I wanted to withhold until, especially after I heard Marcus wanted to have a scene asking Riley to do something illicit for him. Riley's being sent with ya.
I guess because it's such a mystery.
Because it seems like it may have something to do with entities.
Vega. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Vega. If anybody were going on Graveyard Excursion, then it would have been a difficult decision between that and this, but
Oh boy,
this
would it?
probably would have won out. Yeah. So, Riley doesn't count against the NPC crew cap. I think I am gonna keep it to a preferred 6 crew for the Marmoset, just because it is a smaller ship.
Should we really have the Ivan Elena dynamic duo again?
So we're expecting to be going to what? A semi-derelict planet? Planet where nobody goes?
Isolationist planet. A planet where nobody is allowed to go.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah,
There is.
They apparently have adequate defenses to challenge anybody who tries to force their way.
But since we had presumably essentially had a message from David that I guess gives us the suggestion that maybe we might be allowed, right? Maybe.
We'll find out when we get there.
Yeah.
Libra is a robot, correct?
Correct. Well,
Yes.
android, yeah.
Recommending Libra.
Libra's good.
Leave him
Libra's
behind
always good to have on
or
board.
with him?
I think I'd sound like bring Libra.
Libra is good in a fight, right?
Libra's
Yes,
very good in a fight,
absolutely.
yes.
Okay, because
Libra has mining lasers in their arms.
we sent Saul with one of the other missions, and so we should replace
The guard. Yeah.
our guard. Yeah, so I mean, having Libra as muscle would be fine. I propose to bring Christina Christie.
Let me
That's
put
fine
a
by me.
current crew over here.
Because we need somebody to help Riley keep up on her studies while she's away. Don't want her missing weeks and weeks and weeks of school.
Yes.
We have 6.
And what was it? What came to light that Marcus doesn't speak Spacer or read Spacer?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Do is you want to share with the class?
I mean, not yet.
I mean, I guess we know that. I guess we would know that Marcus doesn't speak Spacer because that would definitely
Yeah,
cause
It'd be
the
hard to miss
doesn't-
by now. Yeah.
Yes. But it causing trouble with not being able to read the notes.
I recall the reason that I was having named NPC assignment issues before, and that's because you were needing to make sure you hit the minimum crew of the starship with actual crew. Guards don't count towards that minimum crew for the purpose of maintaining, staffing and all that. And now that you're getting a bigger ship, now that everything's getting a little bit bigger, and we're putting unnamed NPCs in here, I'm going to go ahead and remove that restriction. So if you don't have enough named NPC crew to fill that minimum, then the rest will be unnamed crew. In fact, Raza is actually at this point, with the various threats leveled against it, is going to start requiring at least half staffing on all ships. So you will have 10 people out there. You already do with yourselves, but still, whatever.
It's a principle.
Yeah.
Are there any preferences for other people?
Are there what?
Any preferences for other NPCs? I assume we need more than this.
So we know
I guess
this isn't. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we need to confirm whether we're keeping anyone from the last mission too.
We know this is an isolationist planet. Do we know anything else about it?
Let me pull up my document here.
I'd assume there must be at least a little, but
I suppose we want someone, just in case, given it's complete unknowns, one of the programming people. Shall I bring acid?
I'm all for you.
I like that plan.
You know what? I didn't even realize what we're potentially getting into. But I'll just pick that up.
To answer Aura's question, no, there really isn't much known about Xandar, which is
not even like
planet.
Climate, urbanization, any of that stuff.
It is owned and governed by Xantech. The biosphere is human miscible. The atmosphere is breathable, and the temperature is cold.
Well, I'm gonna hate it there.
There are distant scans have confirmed that there are large cities across the surface, but not much more than that. The population, if those cities are all populated, would be well into the billions.
Okay. So do we have any NPCs who are from cold climates to begin with? Noticing somewhat of an absence of that too, but maybe I'm just not well enough informed.
I thought there's not too many cold planets.
No, most of the cold planets end up being ice planets.
Right.
At least that's how it happened in my sector. No, you don't have very many people that are from cold planets.
Okay, that's not super encouraging. We can definitely assume that there's going to be plenty of technology around. So any characters like with technology-related backgrounds are probably an asset, including the programmers. Yeah, like Acid Ashanti apparently is a robot scrapper, so that might matter. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Sanchi is essentially the next lead scientist, right? Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
And then the rest guards.
Yeah, Ava sounds like a good idea because we helicopter pilot if we need to leave.
we need Elena still on board, right?
Yeah, Elena is sealed as captain of the Marmoset. She may get promoted to the cruiser if you guys want to keep her.
She's useful this far.
Okay.
And then, weirdly, Jean-Julien is from Thurid, which strikes me as oddly similar to this place, except probably warmer.
I can't remember.
I don't know if that's the case.
Thurid, if you recall, is the pleasure planet.
Yeah, I don't know if these are going to be all about pleasure here.
If you're asking about the cold for survivalists, Quiet River, Omikawa, and Natario would all be perfectly suited to any survival needs you have in cold weather also.
Also, absent a cold weather specialization, Oogie is no slouch at survive.
Okay.
Wide instead of deep.
Izzy is very good at failing at survive. I feel like that's the opposite of an aptitude here, but that's okay.
I've got a 0. I forgot. That sounds like bounty hunter's got to have some survive, right?
Oogie's constitution is poor, but his intelligence is up there, and he's well equipped.
We'll the vote on Amikwa and Quiet River.
Do we have multiple people that could be ranked up, right?
Yeah. What was
Or
that
at
question?
least-
Nox?
Maybe it's just Christina.
It wasn't he was suggesting we bring both of the Native American NPCs.
Okay.
Or First Nations NPCs, whatever we're calling them.
Sorry,
Mika
you're breaking up real bad, Nox.
I'm sorry.
I realize there's little much you can do about it, but just letting you know why we're not trying to ignore you. Can you type it?
I mean, I heard well enough what Nox said. It was bring a Meatloa and Quiet River.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them both down there.
Can you?
Might be.
No, it's
Well, no, it's
not
only
any better. Nox.
7.
Well, 8 and 9, counting Lane and Riley.
Yes. No.
That was clearer.
Sounds like you
Okay.
got some packet loss going on, but that is better.
It could be. It could be. Like I have like an actual headset, but it's a wired headset, and my new phone doesn't have a wire.
Ah.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
it doesn't sound like a mic problem. It sounds like a connection problem to me.
But did Aura pretty much get the gist of what you're saying? That Omikawa and Quiet River?
Yep. You mentioned them in your list. I second them. I don't have a wasted Quiet River. Shut up.
Okay. Now I guess the question is, you've got 7 characters here, 7 NPCs. Let's see. 2 of which are good crew NPCs that can fill any position that you need. 1 technician, 1 guard, and Acid. And Libra. You're well balanced. You don't have an NPC medic, but you do have Marcus.
Kinda do. That appears to be sort of Ashanti's background.
It's more like the research side, though, I think. Oh, well.
It's Sunny.
I don't know, maybe. Also, well,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
let's
not
just
good enough.
bring
keep-
along somebody to be a medic. I'm
okay.
just saying.
I see how it
Oh,
is.
yeah, we also have Marcus.
Sunny's M2, isn't she?
She is, but I hadn't heard her confirmed as going on the mission. Do you want to keep her?
Who?
Sunny.
Don't tell Sonny.
Looks like your other choice is Millie. Maybe.
Or we just go without a medic NPC, you know. It's fine.
Alright, 2 more. We'll just say 10 NPCs, not including any required, which is right now Elena and Riley. You don't have to fill up the full 10, but you can.
Let's see, do we need anything else filled?
I think we need anything else filled. However, Armstrong does know the most about the this whole end of the universe stuff, and also a very clear bias towards Armstrong.
Oh, there's Armstrong. Okay.
The up and ship crew. and then maybe another guard.
Well, Fairbanks just got promoted to guard too. Want to put Fairbanks back on?
Is Fairbanks on a different team?
Nah.
No, currently not.
We can upgrade like on this team, right?
At the very least, Christina Christie, I think, is still a level 1 or 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no
yeah.
point in not having someone solid.
What about Valyrian? I know construction work is a weird choice, but we have absolutely no idea what we're going to end up having to do here. And we know there's cities.
And
True.
Lif is a urbanized planet. That's the Union planet. It is almost entirely city. So he's very familiar with city construction.
That's something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Valerian? Any objections to the crew roster as presented?
I'm happy.
I'm happy if you're happy.
All right. Upon finding,
Oogie's gonna make sure to pay Lily Grace a visit before we leave.
uh-huh. Yep. All right. I'll organize these in some kind of fashion a little bit later on, but there's your mission team. Yikes. There's not much room in this box. All right, we are over time, but I still want to offer you a opportunity for any passing feedback you have.
I feel the session went very well.